football between two schools known as the Danville Admirals and the Somerset Briar Jumpers. This used to be one of the greatest rivalries between two great storied franchises, and, well, times they have changed a little bit. Somerset, a couple years off of a state championship. Danville, they had one just before that, and now it's Danville who is trying to figure out a way to get themselves into the win column in this 2013 season, and it's going to be a tough task tonight here at Clark Field, the Briar Patch, home of the Somerset Briar Jumpers. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Toyota of Somerset's high school football, presented by Ford Brothers Auctioneers. I'm Bob Boone, and if you were expecting to hear Adam Bray, well, Adam is taking a leave of absence for just tonight, and we decided that it was time to open the crypt and blow off the dust and scrub the mold off, and I want to welcome our play-by-play man for tonight, Mr. Paul Wright.
Thank you, sir. Couple of things. This rivalry, you talked about how strong it was. There was a time they wouldn't let these teams play.
Exactly.
So
I've heard about it. That was before I got into town, but I've heard lots of stories that fans didn't get along, players didn't get along.
No, these teams love each other. I started my career here in 1986, Bob, and I was not a young man at the time.
So that's almost 40 years.
Almost.
And I've been doing this 20 years, so we got about 50 years worth of experience. So if you're out and about, stop by the local pharmacy. We could use some Geritol and anything else that would help us old men. Looking out across this field, Paul, first of all, I guess this is the first game you've broadcast. You've been here, but to see the new digs here at Somerset and Clark Field, the artificial surface, and then God doesn't disappoint. Man, what a beautiful sunset we've got looking off into the west.
Everybody is going to the turf now.
Yep.
But you will not find a facility any better than this one.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. This is just an amazing place. And Danville has a really fine facility, too. They still have natural grass, don't get me wrong.
Right.
And it's pretty imposing when you pull in there and you see that Stadium of Champions and all of that. But this is a different Danville Admiral football team that's coming in here today. And the first thing you notice when you look across the way, Paul, is numbers. They just don't have them.
Right. And if you're 0-7, you've struggled for a year or two, that can happen. And I'm not saying anything untoward, but, Boyle County's been on a run. Danville was on a run. They kind of take turns. I'll be honest with you. They say it doesn't happen, but it does. You'll have kids go from one program to the other, and it happens everywhere.
It really does. And there was a time, and you remember this, when Boyle County was everybody's homecoming fodder, and they lost players every year to Danville. And, it just happens. We just have to accept that. That's what it is. It's that way at the college level. It's that way in the high school level. That all is what it is. So, with that said, Danville comes into tonight, as you said, 0-7. They really felt like last week they had a chance to go against a Leslie County team that is not very good, and they came away with a 25-19 loss, and they really believed that was their last opportunity to get a win.
You have to come out and play what you've got and play with what you've got. This is not an old, experienced Danville football team.
Right.
There is some young talent here, and it will get better. And you go through spells. You just do. If you are not a private school, you will go through spells to where you don't know what kind of talent you're going to have.
Indeed. We're going to step out, take a break, come back. We're going to get you all set up for the kickoff between these two squads. We'll hear from Coach Clay Clevenger. We'll talk about Somerset and Danville, what we expect to see on the field. This is Toyota of Somerset's high school football, presented by Ford Brothers Auctioneers on Lake Cumberland Sports.
Toyota of Somerset, we're known for great service before and after the sale and so much more. Since 1988, Toyota of Somerset has been supporting our local communities. And we sell and service what a number of different rating services call the most fuel-efficient, dependable, and safe vehicles on the road. Toyota. Toyota of Somerset, South Highway 27 Somerset, and online at toyotaofsomerset.com. At Toyota of Somerset, we're all about you.
Here to come in 175-100, here to come in 175-2. I ain't 200 down, down again, here to come in a quarter.
Like successful sports programs, putting together a successful auction takes a lot of planning, organization, attention to detail, and teamwork. And you need dedicated and committed people pulling together. At Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we've been successfully selling the country since 1965. Ford Brothers Auctioneers. Give us a call or visit us online at FordBrothersInc.com.
Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we're selling the country.
Welcome back to Clark Field, the Briar Patch, home of the Somerset Briar Jumpers, as we are getting set for high school football action. We're about 24 minutes away from kickoff. Paul, let's take a look at Somerset. They had a week off. We'll talk to Coach Clevenger here in a little bit, and he talked about the off week and what they did preparation-wise. But they went over to Breathitt County 2 weeks ago. Tough environment, knew it was going to be a physical game, and pretty much handled the Bobcats. I don't want to say it was easy, but they handled them, I think, better than some people expected.
It's never easy in Jackson. Coming into this season, Breathitt County was the favorite in that district. Leslie County was second. Somerset was third. That was incorrect. I think Somerset is the best team in this district, and it's just a matter of now staying focused enough to prove it.
Yeah, and that's going to be a key, I think, for tonight's game is where is the focus. It is homecoming night here at Somerset, always a big tradition with the parade after school, the floats. We see them out there. Hopefully our man Jeremiah will get you a shot or two of them before the night's over. But Breathitt County, Cam Hughes has been the bell cow for Somerset, and 215 yards rushing on just 14 attempts, 5 touchdowns rushing. That's a pretty good night, but, just to put a candle on top of the icing, on the cake, he returns a punt, 83 yards for a touchdown.
Just in his spare time. Somerset with some skill people, Bob, that can get the job done. And as it is with a lot of schools, particularly a 2A school, the smaller schools, how good's your line? And that's the thing with Somerset, and to this point in the season, they have played very well.
We talked a little bit off the air about that. This is a line that was really young and I think had several question marks. Head coach Clay Clevenger, he was a lineman. He kind of knows offensive line play. And I think this unit has come together rather well. And I think the biggest key is they've stayed healthy.
Oh, that's always a key. That's always a key. If you can, there's the way that the game is played anymore, you got to have two things. You got to have your line stay healthy, and you need enough depth that your offensive and defensive lines don't have to go both ways.
We mentioned Cam Hughes with the big 9. He has 996 yards on the season and 17 rushing touchdowns. That's a pretty amazing record for, stat for somebody in just 7 games. He's 4 yards away from going over 1,000.
I'll bet that happens.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. And his younger brother, Chris, is just 43 yards away from 500 yards rushing. But Chris has another element to his game is he can also catch the balls. He's caught 20 passes for 260 yards and a couple touchdowns. So this offense, while they have found their way on the ground and they know how to run and they know how to pound it and they can run some power, they have the ability to get the ball in the air with Josh Brenner at quarterback, who I think is really grown between last year and this year. Of course, he spent a lot of time hurt last season, and Chris Hughes, as a true freshman, had to do that. Now the ability to put Chris out there and get the ball in his hands and let him make plays, out wide, downfield, has been a huge difference for this team.
I was thinking about this with college games the other day. It used to be if you were over 50% passing, you were pretty good. Bruner is, and I can do the math here, 65 out of 100, which is 65%. That's what it takes in this day and age. A lot of the pass plays are just swings that or what old running plays used to be, what the sweep used to be. But if your quarterback can complete 65% of his passes, you're ahead of the game.
Indeed. And there are some guys that can go downfield and catch the ball for Somerset. You got Isaiah
absolutely.
Lewis, who has 5 catches for almost 100 yards. And then Chaz Reams, who is a tight end, has got 3 passes for 69 yards. And so those guys know how to get open, and Bruner has the arm strength to give it. Of course, it really relies on that offensive line giving him time to throw the ball downfield.
Absolutely. And again, I mean, it all comes back to line play. I think the high school game, and to an extent the college game, comes down to how well is your line play. And as you said, Coach Clevenger knows how to teach that, and that's a tremendous advantage.
We do want to thank you for joining in. This is tonight's Buffalo Wings and Rings video game of the week right here on Lake Cumberland Sports. Now, just a reminder that next week, the BWR video game of the week, that is going to be taking place over at Pulaski County High School in Southwestern. We'll make the trip over there.
That's always entertaining.
It is indeed. Of course, that'll be the Don Franklin Bowl, the battle for the Superintendent's Trophy. So Buffalo Wings and Rings, wings created your way and always fresh, never frozen burgers. We did get a chance to talk to Coach Clay Clevenger earlier in the day, and we're going to do that here in just a couple of minutes. Paul, we're going to talk about Somerset's keys after we hear from him, but
right.
What can Danville do tonight to have an opportunity to, I want to say win, but I think reality says this is going to be a tough road for them.
If they can get Braden Boffman into the second level, running the football, they've got a chance. And it going to come down to line play. Can Danville find him some holes? And that's going to be what they're going to try to do first. Their quarterback, Gutierrez Jacobs, has thrown it 92 times, so about as much as Somerset has. But Danville, I think, has to get playmakers in space.
Yeah, and Somerset, as almost always we have seen from this team, they always have speed and really do a good job, and they have this year, playing sideline to sideline. It's really been impressive what they've been able to do in tracking people down. I think they're going to have to be as fast as they've been all year tonight.
Yeah, they will have to be, because that's one thing. Speed doesn't go out of style. It does not.
They used to say you couldn't coach it, and I think a lot of the experts have. I think that there's always the raw ability there, but I think you can coach speed. You can do certain things. Right now, Somerset's playing really good football, and they've been blessed. Injury-wise, they've lost one player to injury this season, and that was Cameron McCaskill, the senior. I want to give him a big shout-out, because this is just a super kid, intelligent kid, scholar student, and he is just been sidelined since a couple, 3 games into the season. Right. I know that's been hard on him. I know his dad. I used to work alongside of him. But give a shout-out to Cameron. Hang in there, young man. And I know that you're here and going to be supporting your squad as you see him. As a matter of fact, I look down. We see him on crutches now. He just recently had surgery for the torn ligaments in his knee. But you know what? He will move on from that. But we're going to get ready and hear from Coach Clay Clevenger. So earlier we had a chance to catch up with him. So let's step out right now and get his thoughts, but we're going to have to hold up on that.
Okay. You talked to Bob about being able to coach speed. It's not coaching. You harness speed. If you can get your really quick guys under control, then you can do what you've got to do, and that's the big deal.
All right, you're going to kill my mic. I'm going to hit this. We're ready to go with Coach Clay Clevenger.
All right.
Hope you were able to get rested up a little bit, and hopefully you got some kids maybe a little healthier, got rid of some of the bumps and bruises that happen this time of year.
Yeah, I think it's a good time. Coming off we had a pretty grueling little 7-week stretch there. So it was a good time for a break. Practiced a couple times last week. It was our fall break as well. So, just like you said, try to recharge our batteries. You want to stay sharp. I feel like we're playing, pretty good football, so we want to stay sharp, but you also want to have a little bit of a chance to recharge those batteries and hopefully get prepared here for a good little run.
I know it's been a couple of weeks, but you went over to Jackson and took on a pretty decent Breathitt County team. That was a pretty physical contest. I don't think you were surprised by that.
No, we expected that to be the case, and what I was proud about is I felt like we were the aggressor and we were the physical football team, and so that's what we had preached that week, and felt like our kids came out and that's the way we played, and that's the way I feel like we're going to need to play to win moving forward, and so hopefully get some confidence from that standpoint and continue that physical, hard-nosed brand of football.
From our standpoint, it looks like that offensive line just continues to get better and better. Another good night against the Bobcats, and I'm going to assume you're going to expect more of that this week against Danville.
Yeah, I mean, the offensive line is really coming on and coming together, and hopefully we continue that. And they've had a good week of practice, and they continue to work hard. And so we'll just. That's what you want. You want to be able to run the football. It's important this time of year to be able to impose your will on people, so to speak. And, as long as we give Cam a little bit of daylight, he's shown that he can do the rest. And I think that we're getting a lot of confidence in that whole running game. Receivers are doing better blocking. It's a team effort right there. And, we didn't throw the ball a lot against Brett that we really didn't have to. But just getting those guys to understand that eventually we're going to have to probably throw the football some, and the better they block and the better we run it, the easier it's going to be for them to be open when that time comes as well.
Yeah, you talked about the downfield blocking of your receivers. That's something that we were able to make note of, from the press box. And I know, a lot of times people think receiving is just about catching the ball. I said you earn opportunities to catch the ball by making good blocks downfield.
Yeah, when I was in college, our offense coordinator was our O-line coach, but he told the receivers, no blocky, no catchy. And so that's something that I've kind of, but in all reality, a lot of times you're, if the receivers aren't blocking, it might be a 10 or 12-yard gain. If the receivers are blocking well, it might be the 50 or 60-yard gain. And so when you're seeing the long runs, you're probably, a lot of that's because those receivers are doing a good job on the edge as well.
Defensively, is your squad where you'd like it to be at this point in the season?
Yeah, we're getting there. We play kind of an assignment rule-based defense, and so it just takes time. And I think, every week we've kind of learned a little bit about that and the importance of doing your job. Campbellsville and the loss taught us a lot. We've played a lot better defensively since then. And I think kids understand when they don't do their job, then it hurts the whole team. And so just continually to do that, making sure, and if you do your job, a lot of times the ball finds you. And I think that's what a lot of our defensive guys are understanding. And so, just to continue that discipline and that physical, playing defense physically, doing your job, and then really getting to the football, are keys to being solid defensively.
During the off week that you had, is that a time for you and your staff to go back and maybe just work on some fundamentals that maybe during the grind of the season you don't get to because you're always game planning?
Yeah, that's exactly what we did. We got back to just kind of doing our basic stuff, and like you said, sometimes you get into game planning and you might not do this drill or that drill because you're spending a little bit more time in team. So a little bit more individual time, to just hone in on some little things that maybe we haven't been doing as well, that we can improve on, and then get our kids' legs back. Felt like we were getting a little bit worn down. I feel like looking at them in practice this week, I feel like we bounced back. Looks like our legs are back, and so that's what you want this time of year.
So tonight you take on the Danville Admirals. What is that going to mean for you, being a former player, coach? What kind of emotions does that create inside of Coach Clevenger?
It's one of those things. It's kind of people are going to be like, God, bull, but you just try to treat it like the next game. Compartmentalize it a little bit. I'm sure there's going to be some feeling there. There's kids on that football team that were freshmen my last year as a coach, and so. But with that said, I mean, it's an important game because it's the next game, and it's an important game because it's a district game. And, we want to go out there and we want to take care of business, and we want to try to improve from our last game. And I think that's the mindset I want to go into it with, and that's what we've preached to our young men all week. And, this game's about them. It's about them having fun and enjoying it, and don't make it about an old man that doesn't have any more eligibility.
Plus, it's a homecoming week, and, that always tends to be a bit of a distraction. But Danville's a team that it's not like Danville teams of old that you were part of. They've struggled this year. What is it do you see from them coming into tonight? Because they're going to be hungry. And we mentioned homecoming, and it tends to be a bit of a rivalry when Danville and Somerset gets together.
Yeah, I mean, they still got, some guys that can go as far as, good speed, and that can make some plays for them. Number 3, the running back's a good football player. Number 2, a little receiver they've got can make plays in space. And so, if we don't come with our A game, they've got guys that can hurt us and beat us. And so, obviously with homecoming and everything that goes along with that around here, it's great. I love it. The school spirit, the community spirit. But what you don't want is you don't want that to zap your kids. You don't want them to lose focus of what their jobs are on Friday night. And, we've talked about it throughout the week, and you just hope that some of that talking sinks in and that we come out ready to go on, game time at 7:30.
Give me a couple of keys to coming away with a victory.
I think focus is a big thing. How are we going to come off a dead period or our open period? Are we going to, take a step back, or are we going to use it to propel ourselves forward? And then obviously just getting into the flow of the game, mistakes, turnovers, things like that we've shown that if we play that way, we're not very good. When we play mistake-free, we can be a pretty good football team. So being able to handle our business and do what we need to do from that standpoint.
Coach, thank you. Have fun tonight and bring home a victory.
All right, sounds good.
All right, that is Coach Clay Clevenger of the Somerset Briar Jumpers. We're going to step out and take a break. We'll be back to get you set up for kickoff here on Lake Cumberland Sports.
Kimber family at Kimber Home Furnishings in London and Somerset has been in business for 60 years and counting, selling nothing but the top-selling, best-built furniture brands in America at the absolute lowest prices. We focus on treating you like family with a sales staff that knows their stuff and a super fast and professional Kimber delivery team. Kimber has the biggest inventory in the region, so you get what you want when you want it. Any building can be a house, but Kimber makes it home.
My role as market leader here in Somerset is to ensure that customers have a great experience. Having somebody that you feel comfortable with to talk about, your finances, your next move, your goals in life. We try to be that person. We try to be there to help and guide you the best way that we know how. In my opinion, that's what separates us from other lending institutions. We are a small bank. We care about the community that we serve and all the businesses that are involved.
Looking for cash? Well, look no more. Alton Blakely's got cash. Is that cash, Daniel?
Yep.
And you're giving cash for cars?
Yep. For real? Yep.
Why not? Then on down to Alton Blakely, where selling your car is as easy as ABC. If you have a vehicle you'd like to sell or trade, it's fast and easy to get paid. And we'll give you top dollar. Visit Alton Blakely today. All the best since 1965.
Out here in the real world, we've spent too much time waiting around and wondering if we'll ever get to be what we really want to be. Now it's time to move forward. And with a little help from Somerset Community College, you can finish that degree or start a whole new life as an IT VIP, a healthcare hero, and more. In less time and for less money than you think. The time is now. The place is here. Never underestimate you.
Welcome back to Clark Field. Bob Boone alongside Paul Wright. Yes, that's right, the Paul Wright, the man, the legend. Yes, you get to hear him tonight as he's going to be doing play-by-play for us. First of all, Paul, it is good. We've done a lot of talking about the game, and we got about 5 minutes before we kick this thing off. But keys to the game, brought to you by Whitest Cabinets. And at Whitest Cabinets, they provide their customers with friendly service. They value your business, and it is their mission to provide reliable products and services. The courteous and professional team at Whitest Cabinet Design Center can turn your vision into reality. Visit the Whitest Cabinet Design Center on the corner of South 27 and Slate Branch Road to learn more about what they can do to you. Keys to this game tonight, I think Coach Clevenger hit it on the head, don't you?
He did. We've talked about it before. It's focus. I think one thing that Somerset needs to do is to get off to a good start. If you've got a Danville team that's 0-7 with a little bit of talent, you don't want to let them hang around.
You and I have been doing this a long time. We talked about that a little bit ago. But one of the things when you ask a coach keys to the game, they always talk about penalties, and they always talk about turnovers. You know, and it's hard to win a game when you commit way too many infractions and double the disaster if you turn the ball over. Somerset, if they've had a hiccup in their offense, it has been a bit of a propensity to put the ball on the ground, and that's the last thing you want to do against a team like Danville who's looking for their first win.
Yeah, again, you don't want to let them hang around. You don't want to make mistakes, and hopefully the week off gave them a chance to go over some fundamentals and to maybe erase some of the miscues that they were making, and that's what you do every day. You want to get better every day, and a good coach will do that, and Somerset's got one.
Indeed, as you can see right now, looking down on the field, as captains are meeting, captains and coaches, and the obligatory good sportsmanship statement from public address announcer. And are you going to do a starting lineup for us?
Well, I can do that.
All right.
I'll give you I need to find out who's got the ball first so I know which one to start.
Well, we'll kind of check that out here in just a minute as officially is meeting with the captains, looking at captains for Somerset. It is going to include Cam Hughes along with Eston Bruns, also Caleb Hall, and number 43, that is Brady Barnes. Somerset has won the toss, and we're waiting to see what they elect to do, and I got a feeling they're going to take the ball. They are.
You are correct. Somerset wins the toss, gets the ball. They'll be moving left to right. So if you've got your TV sitting on the counter, they'll have to go around the refrigerator. This is Toyota of Somerset High School Football on LakeCumberlandSports.com, presented by Ford Brothers, Auctioneers, and Realtors. Give you Somerset's offensive line in no particular order. Caleb Hall, Saucy Jones, Eston Bruns, Jason Gambrell, and Reggie Smith. The tight end is Chase Reams. The wideouts, Braden McChrystal, Chris Hughes, Caden Smala. The running back is Cam Hughes, right at 1,000 yards. And the quarterback will be the junior, Josh Bruner. For Danville, 3-4 defense, Samaj Lofton, Josiah Israel, and Sasha Wade up front. The linebackers, Jaden Tandy, Chandon Carter, Kingston Jones, and Marquise Elmore. And in the secondary, Bubba Trumbo, Braden Boffman, DeMontre Trumbo, and Braylon Guest, excuse me.
Dr. Jesse Pace and Dr. Patrick Jenkins of Lake Cumberland Orthopedic Sports Medicine for athletes of all levels, from the weekend warrior to the professional. At Lake Cumberland Orthopedics, the goal is to get each patient back to the highest level of physical activity as soon as possible. They're proud to support local athletics by serving as team physicians for Lindsey Wilson College, Southwestern, Somerset Pulaski, and Wayne County High Schools, and other athletes throughout the Lake Cumberland region. And you can check them out, Lake Cumberland Orthopedics Sports Medicine. And they do stay busy, too busy, if, for just about anybody's liking. But they do a good job, and we appreciate them being part of our coverage here of high school football on Lake Cumberland Sports. And I'm going to get this in just before. The most complete coverage of high school sports in the entire Lake Cumberland region.
You guys have been busy.
Yes, sir. I think we were told by the boss man today that is it today that will conclude 41 broadcasts in 45 days.
That is correct, sir.
And this is number one for you.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn it over. He's our play-by-play man. Here he is, Paul Wright.
Trust Healthcare kickoff as Danville will come out, and it will be Hughes and Hughes deep.
No surprise.
No, as Cam is to the near side and Chris on the far side as Danville gets ready to start the game. Are you surprised? Is Somerset in the habit of taking the football?
To be honest, I can't recall. Not really surprised. I would have thought that. I did think that if they won the toss, they would want the football start to set that tone early, as you talked about moments ago.
Right. Caleb Wilcher's got the ball on the tee, and we are just about ready to go on a picture-perfect night for football. And it has been a while. I'll get used to these buttons by the time the game's over.
Don't worry about the mule going blind. Just load the wagon.
There you go. Wilcher finally moves on the football, and it is an onside kick that pops up, and Somerset's got an up man that takes it at the 42 out to the 45. And the man that came up with the football for the Jumpers was Isaiah Lewis.
Yeah, and Somerset was lined up as though they anticipated that very thing. So good heads-up play there by Somerset, and, great field position to start this game.
They will mark it at the 44 in jumper territory. And I don't know, I wonder about Wilcher's ability if he kicks it deep a lot or not. Handoff to Hughes, straight up the gut. He is hit, drags people with him, gets 4. He will get to the 48-yard line. First man there for Danville is Boffman. And that was Cam. And I'll try to get my Cams and my Chris's straight as we go along through the night. Cam is the running back at this point in time.
You'll see Chris Hughes line up back in the backfield some. He primarily lines up as a wide receiver, a slot back.
2 receivers left, 1 right. Ball on the left hash mark. Here comes Hughes. They give it to Chris. Coming wide to the right side, gets to midfield. Gets a block down the sideline, 40, and is thrown out of bounds in the vicinity of the 35-yard line. They got a good block on the edge, Bob.
Yeah, and that was just a little pop pass, kind of a jet sweep, but he popped it out in front. So first completion of the night for Bruner, even though he threw it all of about 12 inches.
Maybe.
And
Boffman again on the stop.
First down, Jumpers.
Oh, I missed that. I'm used to that jumper thing from Mr. After. I like that. It's good. Ball's at the 34-yard line. They hand it off to Cam Hughes, and he goes straight up the middle in the vicinity of the 30. There's a pile. On the bottom of the stack for Danville is Elmore, but a gain of 3. They only give him the 31, second down and 7.
Well, I was a little more generous. I should have waited on the spot, but he got 4 on that one as far as I'm concerned. I'm doing this in ink. It's like doing crossword puzzles in ink. I should not do that.
You're a brave man. Wide receiver, wide left, and 2 to the right side. And Samala with a quick pitch to Hughes. He cuts it up the right side, gets a hit, bounces off, gets inside the 25. He will be down near the 20, and that will be a first down. That's a Kemper Furniture first down, by the way. They will mark it at the 20.
Second first down of the drive. And that time Danville did a really good job of setting the edge, and Cam was able to plant that right foot, cut back up inside, and a good job by the interior lineman to maintain their blocks and allowed him to pick up 11 nice yards.
Chris on the last play, able to get outside. Cam cut it back inside from the 20. They fake. Bruner straight back, got a receiver, overthrows him in the back of the end zone. Incomplete. It'll be second down and 10. And I'll get you a receiver when he gets back in the vicinity.
That was Caden Samala.
Yep, he's out on the track. He is back, and it will be second down and 10 as Jumpers take a shot on first and 10, Bob.
Ball, nose of the ball right on the 20, so we'll call that officially. They're in the Rick Barker red zone.
Yes, sir. Again, single receiver to the left. That's Lewis. And they hand off to Hughes. Nice patience, nice cut. Gets inside the 15, inside the 10, and they will mark him right at the 5-yard line. So he just kept motoring, picks up 15 and another Kemper Furniture first down, deep inside the red zone, and the jumpers are threatening. With
Zasa Jones with a terrific trap block right there. He may not have got an official pancake as far as putting the man on the ground, but he opened up a huge hole that time for Cam.
Not a pancake, maybe just a waffle?
A waffle.
Yeah. First and goal from the 5. As Bruner goes under center, takes it, spins, hands off to Hughes, walks into the end zone, standing up. Cam Hughes from 5 behind the right side of that offensive line, and he just danced into the end zone at the 9:37 mark here in the first quarter.
Indeed it is. Citizens National Bank touchdown, and that's a play we've seen Somerset. That's kind of their go-to when they need a little power action. They put that tight end in motion, and they just, with a fullback and power their way into the end zone.
Extra point forthcoming. Bruner holds it. Kick is up.
I think we had a flag.
And, yeah, we got stopped before we got going good.
Everybody just stood around and watched it as we wait on the call.
Anderson Rubel.
It's going to be on Somerset, and they're going to get half the distance to the goal, and the offense comes back out. You like this?
Against Danville, they're going to move. They're going to give them half the distance, yard and a half.
Yeah.
Sure.
Watch for the exact same play that they ran on the touchdown. Wouldn't be a bit surprised to see that.
That's part of the reason. That's one of the reasons Franklin County was able to get the 2-point conversion against Southwestern last week. Same kind of play. They hand it off to Chris Hughes, dances to the left side. Did he get there? No.
I'm going to say no. Wow.
He got right at the goal line, but Danville stood in there and made the tackle.
And Coach Clevenger's on the field pointing to the line judge on this near side. I don't know if he gave a signal or not, but he's still asking for it. But
yeah, the guy
said, why not talk to the other guy?
Well, the guy on this side couldn't see it. He was. I'm sure he was blocked out with bodies. Let me do some more homework here. For Somerset, Jacob Bartley, Zach Koger, Zach Carter up front. Grayson Gulak, Brady Barnes, John Reynolds, and Austin Wallace are the backers. Braden McChrystal and Chris Hughes are the corners. Cam Hughes, and who's the other safety with McCaskill out, sir?
Hold on, I was looking. You caught me off guard here.
Sorry about that.
No worries whatsoever. Defensive back, you're looking at Cam Hughes, and I forget. I'm sorry.
We'll pick it up.
We'll pick it up here in a minute. Sometimes they just play with one safety.
Yeah.
My bad.
Aiton Langland, Jamari Johnson, Keegan Jones, Keyshawn Jones, and David Shelton will be up front for Danville. The wideouts are Jason Tandy, Xavier Level, DeMontre Trumbo, and Trendon Sellers. Braden Boffman is the running back, and Enrique Gutierrez Jacobs is the quarterback, and it bounces, goes through the legs of a defender. He'll go back, scoop it up, head up the sideline, get to the 20, out to the 25. He's at the 30, breaks the tackle, still going at the 40. Breaks loose again, down the sideline, and he may go.
He is going to go.
Goffman takes it all the way to the house, and Danville has tied it at 6.
And just a total breakdown right there by the jumpers. And you see that so often when a ball is muffed, fumbled, dropped. That time it just went right through the wickets. Hoffman goes back, picks it up, and got a couple of key blocks and raced himself down the sideline to even the score at 6-6. Just like that. Ho, ho, ho.
And now Danville, with that man Wilcher on to attempt the extra point to put the Ads in front.
So we still won't see who the...
No, we will. Kick is up, and it is good. 9:19 to go in the quarter, Bob. And the Randall Turpin CPA scoreboard has got Danville on top of Somerset, 7-6.
Big thank you to Don Franklin of Somerset's family of dealerships, being the official photography sponsor on Lake Cumberland Sports Facebook page. At Don Franklin, they work daily to provide their customers with the best possible experience. You can visit any one of their 5 Somerset locations or go on Facebook at Don Franklin Somerset family of dealerships, where they treat you like family, and we always have. We've got some excellent photographers here at Lake Cumberland Sports. Go check them out and share them with family and friends. We appreciate Don Franklin, Somerset, helping us out with that.
About 84 yards on that?
Yeah, that's 84 or 74.
No, it was inside the 20.
It was. You're right. I'm sorry. I was looking at the 26, and it was about the 16. You're right.
So Danville will come out to kick off, leading 7-6. And we talked about Danville having speed. We talked about them having people that could make plays in space. That guy can.
And especially when we talk about Boffman comes into tonight, 592 yards on 103 carries. We don't really get a hold of special team stats, but I wouldn't kick to him anymore.
Good thinking. Wilcher moves on the football, and it will go deep on this trip, and it is taken by Hughes at the 20, 25-30. That is Cam, and he will get to the 32-yard line, maybe the 33, and Somerset will take over, 1st and 10.
Yeah, good open field tackle there by Xavier Level of the Danville Admirals. So Somerset going to have to put another drive together. This time they will start from their own 33-yard line. 9:15 to go. 7-6 on your Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard.
Less than 3 minutes, we've had 2 scores.
7-6 Danville.
Yes. 2 receivers left. Samala comes to the right side. Now coming in motion is Chris Hughes. They hand off to Cam on the left side of the line. Big hole, 35-40. Down the sideline midfield. One man to beat. He is wrapped up and thrown out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. They will mark it at the 36 in Admiral territory.
It's coming back.
All right.
Don't see the flag, but jumpers.
Holding. I do.
Dressed in purple.
I see 2.
Jumpers in all purple. Purple breeches. Purple shirts. I guess those are pants and jerseys. Have the gold, what I call the Indy Colt stripes on the shoulders, and Vegas gold, and of course the Vegas gold helmet.
They've gone back to the old gold style.
Yep.
Love it.
I do too. So first penalty of the ball game negates a big run. That's a 10-yarder.
They mark it from.
They mark them from the foul unless it's behind the line of scrimmage now.
So the gain to few, but it's 1st and 14, 15. Take it, hand off to Chris Hughes around the right side, gets to the 30 and is tripped up, falls forward, maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. Boffman on the tackle. It'll be 2nd down and pretty much 10, right where we started this operation. And I'll be honest with you, Boffman's going to be tired.
He is. He's not a very big man either. Comes in at 5'8", about 160 pounds, but quick as a hiccup.
Bruner, excuse me?
I was just going to let him know, 8:38 to go. Clock's running.
Bruner gets the play from the sideline, and Somerset will have everybody in tight with Bruner under center. And they got a man in motion. They turn, hand off to Hughes, and that is Cam, and he breaks loose. Stepped out of bounds at the 41, 42-yard line. He was pushed out over there by
Austin Lawless, the tight end, lined up as a wing, comes across and just made a nice block. Cam cuts up behind it and picks up 9 yards.
Trendon Sellers on the stop for Danville. And 3rd and about 1.5 yards, and Cam never did go down.
No, he did not. I think he thought he stepped out of bounds at one moment and then kept going, but he did.
Yes. Yeah, he was going to cut it back and see what could happen going the other way. But 3rd down, about 1.5 yards. Again, with the pro set, Bruner will keep it, and the pile goes forward across the 45 to the 47-yard line. And there's your quarterback sneak. And a Kemper Furniture 1st down.
Yeah, nifty little 4-yard run for the 1st down. And thing about that is, offensive linemen, they love that stuff right there. Now we got a timeout for an injury.
Yeah, Danville's got a guy down. Now we'll try to get you a number. Something with a 1. That's all I can do at this point. They've got 2 defensive linemen. with that, it looks like it's a 51. It looks
Deshaun
like
Jones.
Samaj Lofton, I think. But we'll hold it right here while they work on him. And you want to read one?
Well, they've got
us?
two number 51, so
Yep.
I'm a little bit confused, but I will do that. Stay tuned. At the conclusion of this contest tonight, we will name our Sassy Spoon Catering Lineman of the Game. Delicious food with Southern flair, made fresh local favorites, and they love to do all kinds of catering jobs. Big crowds, little crowds, wedding receptions, business events, picnics. Let them make your event special. That is Sassy Spoon Catering, and always feeding the group up here in the press box each and every week. Trust Healthcare Counseling Services. We can get services started today. Interest offers you the flexibility of providing you with counseling services in their office, on the phone, or through the computer. Give them a call, 606-676-0638, or visit their website at entrust-healthcare.com. At Entrust, your mental health matters. And remember the new suicide crisis lifeline. Just dial 988 to call, text, or chat.
8:12 to go first quarter. 7-6 Danville. Somerset has got it on and the Randall Lee Turpin CPA scoreboard. 7-6. And again, Bruner back under center. And that Hughes goes behind the right side of the line, gets tripped up and falls forward to the 50. He will get 4 yards on the play. Tripped up.
And that tight end we keep talking about is young Austin Lawless. He is a tremendous football player. He's a freshman, 15 pounds. And when we get to see Somerset's defense, you're going to call that number a lot.
All right. Gain of 3, second and level. Made the tackle for Danville. Somerset again tight. There goes that freshman. They hand it off to Chris Hughes, straight up the gut. Explodes into the secondary and gets to the 40-yard line and maybe beyond. They'll mark it at the 39. That's a first down. Somerset, made by Chandon Carter, and made that one in self-defense, I think. He just caught Hughes as he came through. Gain of 11 and a first down.
Yards rushing on 10 attempts so far for Somerset.
That'll get it done. They hand off to Chris Hughes again. Behind the left side of the line. He will cross the 35 down to the 33. Carter in there again on the hit. It'll be second down and 4. So Somerset doing that imposing the will thing right now and just kind of running it up the gut. Second and 4. Again, everybody tight. Again, that tight end starts one way and comes back, and they hand it off to Cam, who cuts to the right side, gets to the 30, dives down, drives down, gets to the 25, maybe the 24, before he is hit and dropped by DeMontre Trumbo, but good enough for a first down at the 24-yard line, and it will be a Kemper Furniture first down and first and 10. That's what Jonathan Absher said, first down.
I heard him. Yeah. Just got a little side eye. I can get that at home.
Yeah. I can't. My wife's gone. Anyway, Bruner under center. Takes it. Hands off to Chris Hughes behind the left side of the line. Gets to the 20-yard line. Down to the 18. Gain of 6. Second down and 4. And they are in the Rick Barker red zone.
5 carries, 36 yards for Chris Hughes. And I will say one thing that Danville's doing fairly well. They're setting that edge and forcing the running backs back up inside. Chris Hughes had the one run where he was able to break that containment, but Danville's just not able to get the flow they need to hold Somerset to short gains.
Again, hand off to Hughes. This is Cam, big cut. 15, 10, stretches toward the goal line inside the 5. It should be first and goal from the 1. Wow. They're just getting blocking, getting penetration at the line, and just blowing that defensive front out of the way.
5:05 to go. That is the 8th first down of the ball game for the Jumpers.
First and goal. And we've got
Timeout.
a Ron Shaw Realtor timeout. Danville. 4:57 to go in the quarter. Danville up 7-6, and Somerset threatening, Bob.
The name to know when you or your friends and family are buying or selling real estate is Ron Shaw with Weichert Realtors Ford Brothers. Ron has a long-standing history of community service and is a proud supporter of youth sports in the Lake Cumberland area. Ron truly cares for others, works hard for all of his clients, no matter the size or value of the property that they would be selling. You can contact Ron Shaw at 606-271-0774 or email him at ronshaw45@gmail.com. That's Ron Shaw at Weichert Realtors Ford Brothers. Paul gave you the what was formerly known as the fashion report for Somerset. Danville wearing black pants, white jerseys with some kind of blue and silver, and then one of the best-looking helmets in all of high school football. The silver helmet with the Admiral logo on the side includes the map anchor and pretty nice-looking lid.
All right, Brenner under center. And they take it, hand off to Chris Hughes behind his brother. Goes into the end zone. He got bumped a little bit. So unlike Cam the first time, he did get touched. But a 1-yard touchdown run from Chris Hughes, and Somerset bounces back in front with the Citizens National Bank.
And now the Somerset Briar Jumpers offensive line doing what we kind of expected they would do coming into tonight's game, and that's big right there to come back from that touchdown. How do you handle quick change situations? Coach Clevenger talked about focus.
A penalty the first time and missing it. Incomplete pass.
I'm glad I didn't get my stats marked down.
Well, in this day and age you might want to wait. All right, Gutierrez Jacobs, man in motion, hands it off to him, cuts to the left side, gets to the 40.
Oh, wow!
As Cam Hughes came up and hit Trendon Sellers, hit him high and dropped him right there. Loss of a yard. It'll be second down and 16.
This were a baseball park. That would be hit him high, hit him hard.
Nope, they give him the 40, so no gain on the play. They move it back up a yard. Second and 15. Wow.
Hughes come flying up from that safety position. And
how do you do? Wide receiver to the right. 2 to the left for Danville. Trumbo and Sellers on this side. Boffman behind the quarterback in the pistol. Straight back. Fires it off to the side. He's got a receiver at the 45. Cuts up and gets run out of bounds right there. That is Sellers. It was that freshman you were talking about, Lawless, was one of the defenders over there. And it is third, and they are right back where they started after the 5-yard gain.
And if you're a defensive coach, that's what you like to see. Sure. Put your opponents in third and long situations. See if Somerset comes after them. They're showing some blitz and showed it too much.
Offside, Somerset.
Yep.
So, 4th and long becomes 4th and medium from midfield. Or, excuse me, 3rd and medium from midfield. Is this 4-down territory?
Well, I think if you're Danville, it is. Yeah. And it would be Danville.
Yeah.
that's who's playing.
All right, Danville kind of milling around. I guess I've got a play call. 1 receiver to the left, 2 to the right. And they take it, hand off to Boffman, and he will get a yard before the middle of that defensive line. Everybody on the line had a piece of that one. Bartley, Koger, Carter, the law firm of, and it's 4th and 4.
Yeah, they're going to give him that 1 yard. Might be generous. That's okay.
Yeah, he didn't get a lot.
Now, good defensive, good penetration right up the middle for Somerset. Somerset playing a 3-man. Actually, Coach Clevenger says, a 3-4 defense, it's the old 52.
Right. All right, 4th and 4. After the short gain, you wondered about going for it here. Danville did not. Gutierrez Jacobs.
Offsides.
With a man in motion, fakes it, straight back to throw. Got time, now breaks down. He takes off running. He will get to the 45, near the 40-yard line, before he's pushed out of bounds by the freshman again, Wallace, but he's going to pick up an Admiral first down.
Yeah, I give him 9 yards officially at 2:51 of this first quarter, and that is the first Danville first down of the ball game.
14-7 on the Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard.
And that was a little bit of what I think Coach Clevenger feared, that this guy, if he gets outside of that containment on the rush, he can make things happen with his feet.
Single receiver left, 3 to the right. From the pistol, they hand off to Boffman. He breaks the tackle, scoots inside to about the 37-yard line. And, boy, you got that right as Lawless, the freshman, comes in there, takes his legs out from under him after a gain of 3. And it will be second down and call it second down and a short 7. Or a long 6, whatever you prefer.
I was going to ask you.
Yeah, either way works.
Either one works?
Either one works. Ball's halfway between the 36 and 37. I'll probably get these binoculars set about the time the game ends, too. It's been a while.
I keep having to get stronger ones every year. I don't get it.
Tell me about it. All right. Fakes to Boffman, throws out into the flat.
Could have a hold.
Got a receiver, that's Sellers, and he will get next to nothing on the play before he is thrown backwards by Cam Hughes. Do you see a flag?
No. Should have been.
They will mark it back at the 37, so they actually lost, call it half a yard on the play, I guess.
Now it's definitely 3rd and 7. Or 7 to go. Minute 30, all that remains in this first quarter. Well, we got our graphics up. Good work by Pat Harris producing tonight. Jeremiah Jones on the camera work.
So far, so good. Quarterback takes it. We get whistles and flags, and
somebody wiggled.
Yeah, somebody moved. And it is illegal procedure. Is that what they call it this week?
Not anymore.
False start?
I learned a couple of weeks ago that is no longer illegal procedure, but you go ahead. You're old school.
That's right. I'm old. I can say it if I want to.
Second penalty against the Admirals. Both of them have been 5-yard pre-snap penalties.
Let's not get into words they've changed the meanings of, all right?
We could be here all night.
3 receivers left, 1 to the right. And quarterback takes it, fires down the right sideline, got a receiver, picked. Somerset picked it off down at the 20-yard line. That's Lewis with the football, and the Jumpers with the first turnover of the evening with 57 seconds to go in the first quarter. Will take over, 1st and 10, up 14-7. He just stepped in front of the pass was underthrown.
It was, and he did a great job because that's a dangerous moment if you're a defensive back. A lot of times those underthrown passes, the receiver will turn to come back in, run into the defender through no fault of the defender, and get a PI call.
Correct.
But he played that very well, had his eyes on the ball, head turned, everything perfect, and completed the interception.
Single receiver to the left, 2 to the right. Back in the gun, and he will hand it to Cam Hughes, 25, near the 30-yard line before he's tripped up. It'll be second down and 7, or excuse me, gain of 7, second down and 3. PI, you got private investigators.
Indeed.
Okay.
Magnum.
That's the first thing I thought of.
We failed to mention, with his first carry of the night, that 4-yard run, Cam Hughes did hit 1,000 yards on the season. As of right now, 79 yards. 9 carries and 1 touchdown run.
They moved it back to the 28, so again, it's 6, 2nd and 4. And they fake it to him, throw it to his brother Chris out in the flat, and he is wrapped up and dropped for a loss back at the 29-yard line. Nice play on the defense from Danville with the linebacker, Marquise Elmore.
Yeah, and that's just a great play there, getting off the block of Chaz Reams and making a nice open field tackle.
3rd and 8. We have come to the end of the first quarter. Somerset on top, 14-7 on LakeCumberlandSports.com.
Toyota of Somerset, we're known for great service before and after the sale and so much more. Since 1988, Toyota of Somerset has been supporting our local communities. And we sell and service what a number of different reading services call The most fuel-efficient, dependable, and safe vehicles on the road. Toyota. Toyota of Somerset, South Highway 27 Somerset, and online at toyotaofsomerset.com. At Toyota of Somerset, we're all about you.
Here to come in 175 here to come in 175 2. I 200 down again here to come in a quarter.
Like successful sports programs, putting together a successful auction takes a lot of planning, organization, attention to detail, and teamwork. And you need dedicated and committed people pulling together. At Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we've been successfully selling the country since 1965. Ford Brothers Auctioneers. Give us a call or visit us online at FordBrothersInc.com.
Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we're selling the country.
Game time just got better. Welcome back as we get ready to start the second quarter of action. 14-7 on your Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard. Somerset jumped out to the early lead, and the ensuing kickoff was returned for a score by Danville. Somerset took that kickoff return and marched right downfield. They've got the ball again, and, see what happens here as Somerset has the ball. 3rd down and 8.
This is the.
I was double checking because the 1 yard to gain marker is laying on the ground. It's not 3rd down and goal, I promise.
Getting a hot dog. This is the Buffalo Wings and Rings video game of the week. If our waitress is working. Hello. We've got a favorite. 2 receivers left, and back is Bruner. Pump fakes, gets pressure, rolls to the right, 25, 30. Knife out to the 32, 33-yard line. It is, I think he's got it. Nope.
Boy, it sure looked like
They're not helping him any. They're going to put it down.
Well, they
right
put the down
32.
marker is past the yard to gain, but they've not moved the chains.
No, but the official just marked 1st down.
Yeah.
He just motioned 1st down.
Chain gang having a little trouble getting themselves.
Yeah, we had that discussion at lunch today.
9th first down of the contest for Somerset.
The old-fashioned chain.
Yeah, well, if we have time, I'll opine on that.
1st and 10 from the 32.
To steal a word from our friend Mike Kerr.
And we get
movement
on Somerset, and that is a what kind of penalty?
That is a false start, a pre-snap penalty.
So far in this game, Bob, if we had a penalty sponsor, we'd be doing well.
We would indeed.
1st and 15 from the 27-yard line. Jumper is on top 14-7. Danville hanging around.
3rd infraction against Somerset for 20 yards.
2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Coming in motion is Chris Hughes. And we get whistles again. Illegal substitution on somebody.
No?
Nope, he saw procedure. I looked over there and he had his
hand on the
shoulder. Yeah, he did. But
saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay. Mark it back to the 22. It's 1st and a bunch. As they call a false start. And here we go again. Again, 2 receivers to the right. And they take it, hand off to Cam Hughes. Ball's loose. Picked up by Danville. And he's going the wrong way. Picks it up, takes it out to the 40, cuts back to the 35, and Danville will get the football at the 36, 37-yard line.
Wow.
As it was scooped up.
Was that Chris Hughes?
By Chandon Carter. I think it was Cam. But he picked it up and headed in the wrong direction. If he'd went the other way, we're an extra point away from being tied.
For you young kids out there listening, if you go look at the history of the NFL, there was a play where a gentleman ran the ball all the way the other end on Jim Marshall, Minnesota Vikings.
Kingston Jones for Danville gets up limping toward the sidelines. Yeah, I remember that play. How old am I? Yeah.
I just remember my grandpa telling me about it.
Thanks, Bob. 1st and 10 from the 37.
Look it up, NFL films. You'll see it.
Steve Sable. It's the guy behind NFL Films.
Yes, sir. Interesting. First turnover of the ball game, and if they score here, Paul, sorry, you know, this is what we talked about in the opening. A turnover is a great equalizer. I don't know where the play clock is. Down to 3. They got it off.
Gutierrez.
No, they didn't.
Jacobs take it, and we get whistles, and Danville took a timeout. That would be a Ron Shaw Realtor timeout with 10:27 to go in the half. Randall D. Turpin scoreboard's got Somerset on top, 14-7.
Well, things look just slightly discombobulated out there, I guess would be the best way to describe that. Rick Barker and Godby Realty and Auction. Names you know, names you can trust. Real estate and auction services for the farm, commercial, residential, and personal. Godby Realty and Auction. They have over 49 years experience in the real estate and auction business, and they're ready to put that to work for you. Go online at godbyrealty.com for more information, and I guarantee you, you will not see discombobulation at a Godby Realty and Auction.
I've been to a couple of those. Those are fun. Those are fun.
We just wanted to learn how. Could you imagine announcing a game as an auctioneer?
No.
We need to get Rick up here one time.
He's done some radio in his time.
Yes, he has.
1st and 10 from the 37. 2 receivers each direction. And
more whistles.
We get whistles. Now what?
Well, running off the field is
must have a helmet issue.
Braylon Guest. Yeah, some sort of an equipment issue. I don't know. He just ran to the sideline and
Tandy checks in replacing him. Yeah, it had to be an equipment thing. 2 receivers each direction. Boffman in the backfield. In the pistol behind the quarterback. Fakes it to him and throws a slant pattern. Got a receiver inside the 30 down to the 26-yard line. That's Trumbo. And it will be a Danville first down. They will mark it at the 27-yard line, 1st and 10. So we got right at the sticks. Danville moves the chains. And they're getting ready to put a threat together. Gutierrez Jacobs. What's he done passing the ball tonight, Bob?
He is 3 for 4 on the night with 21 yards and 1 interception.
There you go. 2 receivers left, 3 to the right. Gutierrez Jacobs. And we're getting whistles. All right.
Everybody take a deep breath.
First and 15.
Go ahead.
I'll be honest with you. I think you're in a situation right now. Maybe somebody moves, but I don't think somebody moves on every play, ref.
So that is the 3rd one against Danville for 15 yards. 7th penalty in the ball game at the 9:48 mark of this 2nd period.
Yes, sir. All right, same formation. Empty backfield for Gutierrez Jacobs. Takes it, stands there, throws it over the middle, and it's tipped away. Nice play by the jumpers from Brady Barnes, and it will bring up 2nd down and 15. Reached up and got a big paw on it and batted it away. There was a receiver on a little slant inside that was open.
Brady Barnes, one of the inside linebackers, 64 tackles on the season. He was in perfect position, just a little zone coverage underneath. Gutierrez didn't see him.
He is the leading tackler on this team. Single receiver left, 3 to the right. Now Boffman will go to the left of the quarterback, who goes straight back to throw. Sits, lost one down the sideline, got a receiver. Couldn't wrap it up. Might have been a half a step out in front of Boffman, and he couldn't reel it in. It will be 3rd down and 15.
Well, one thing I can tell you, Boffman's got a set of quicks on him as he was able to sprint right by the defense down that far sideline and just a little more air underneath that ball, and it's 6.
Yeah, he's there. He was open and let him just a little much. I see floats and all sorts of paraphernalia.
That's kind of homecoming stuff.
3rd and 15. Single receiver left, 2 to the right. Fake it. Quarterback back, throws a little pass to Trumbo, and he makes the catch and does a wraparound and picks up a couple of yards on the play to the 30. It'll be 4th and 13. Expect Danville to go for it right here because you're in no man's land anyway.
30-yard line.
They'll mark the back of the ball at the 30, gain of 2.
Not unless they have a tremendous field goal kicker. I'm going to say not. So it is 4th down and a long way to go. Make it 12, 13. There we are, splitting hairs again.
Fractions, getting into fractions.
Fractions.
Single receiver left, 3 to the right. As long as it's not geometry, I'm good. Quarterback takes it straight back to throw, steps up into the pocket. Nope, down he goes, and Somerset will take over. Getting in there for the sack is Koger out at the 34-yard line, and the Jumpers take over on downs with 8:51 to go in a half. So, Danville had a chance after the fumble. The wrong way return didn't help their situation any. They will mark it at the 33.
1st and 10 for the Briar Jumpers.
Nice defensive play there. They set that edge, did a great job, and when the quarterback, Gutierrez Jacobs, tried to sneak up the middle, Koger right there to make the tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
Excuse me.
Go ahead.
Bruner checks in with the play call. The Jumpers back on a roll. 2 receivers right, 1 left. In the gun. And Hughes takes it. That's Cam. Dodges one way, back the other. Almost drug his foot out of a tackle. Gets across the 40 to the 42-yard line. He's going to be just shy of a 1st down. It'll be 2nd and short.
Koger, who had that sack, that is his 2nd sack of the season, 5th tackle for loss.
It was a good play. I don't think Gutierrez Jacobs is a
He's not
tremendous
very
runner.
mobile.
No. But he got the ball. He's dangerous. Single receiver to the right. 2 to the left. Chris Hughes is there. Takes the handoff straight up the gut across the 45 to the 47-yard line. And that will be enough for a Kemper Furniture 1st down. Tackle for Danville.
10 first downs for Somerset.
Channing Carter on the tackle.
And on the stop for the Admirals.
Ball's at the 47.
1st down, Jumpers.
If you're Coach Clevenger right here, a nice let's run and get 4, let's run and get 3, let's kill the clock and go up 2 scores.
On the 47-yard line.
That's the way John Kane would have done it in the old days. Single receiver left, 2 to the right. Bruner. And Somerset wants a timeout. A Ron Shaw Realtor timeout. 7:32 to go in the half. The Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard says 14-7 Somerset.
Keeping stats and the correct score is important to players, coaches, and fans, and the same can be said about keeping your taxes and finances in order. For over 26 years, Randall D. Turpin CPA has been doing just that. If accounting is not your thing, let the pros at Randall D. Turpin CPA do it for you. Proud sponsor of the Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard. They're located right here in Somerset, Kentucky off Parker's Mill Road, and got to say howdy to Mr. Turpin the other day. My office is right next door to his office, and he was out enjoying a little sunshine, getting a little vitamin D, so we exchanged pleasantries. He's been with this outfit from the beginning.
Since the beginning. I try to work with him on this, and I go see him every year and say, get me some money, and he says after a week or so, you only owe this much. So
I saved you. It's kind of like when your wife goes shopping, she saved you money.
Exactly.
He saved you money.
It only cost me so much.
7:32 to go in the first half. It's 14-7. Somerset on top. That score a little bit misleading. Yeah. Somerset turned the ball over. Danville got a score on a kickoff return, but Somerset's been in control of this game, all except the one KO return.
Yep. Single receiver left. 2 to the right. And a handoff to Chris Hughes. Dances to the right side, cuts it up midfield. And then Boffman picks him up and drops him on his head about the 48-yard line. Gain of 5. 2nd and 5.
8 carries, 47 yards for Chris Hughes and a touchdown. Cam Hughes, 11 carries, 84 yards. So Jumpers tack on 12 more from Bruner, and they are within a whisker of 150 yards rushing in this first half of play and plenty of time left.
Yeah, the stats are going to be one-sided because of that kickoff return. Danville has not accomplished a lot. Again, single receiver right, 2 left. High snap. Kid Chris Hughes going to the left side. He is tripped up in the backfield. He might have lost a yard on the play. I think they're going to get him right back where he started. Carter was in on the play. Elmore there as well, and it will be, it'll cost him a yard. It'll be 3rd and 6. I know, you can't listen to me. They are not spotting the ball where it needs to be. I'm sorry.
I'm telling you, there's a solution for that.
Yep, called technology. 3rd and 6. And they take a handoff to Cam Hughes behind the right side. He tries to cut it up. Gets to the 45, maybe just beyond. It'll bring up 4th down and a couple. And he cut that one back inside, Bob. And he might have been better off to went on out on that one.
Well, we're going to name a Sassy Spoon Catering lineman of the game, and I don't know if we can call a tight end a lineman, but in old school football they do. Another outstanding block from Austin Lawless.
All right,
I'm going to nominate him for it anyway.
4th and a yard and a half. Bruner keeps it, dives the pile forward. He is down to the 40-yard line, and the Jumpers have a Kemper Furniture first down.
Needed 2, got
about 4. Yeah.
Little tush push.
That quarterback sneak has been good. They mark it back at the 41, which is not where Bruner was laying when he went down, but I'm going to quit fighting that fight. I think on the stats, you're just going to have to be a little bit patient with them.
Okay. It all comes out in the wash.
It does. Everybody tight, 1st and 10.
I was dead on last week.
41. Yes, you were. I heard that story. All right, handoff to Cam Hughes behind the right side of the line. Gets nice blocking, but is tripped up after the gain of 3. He was a half a step away from going a long way, but Trenton Sellers got him by one ankle and wrestled him down.
Put the hand on top of the helmet, tried to come up with a little stiff arm, but Sellers a nice open field tackle, and Cam Hughes kind of gave him a little good play nod as he got up from that one.
Lake Cumberland Regional Hospital and Lake Cumberland Physicians Practices. They're proud to be the official healthcare provider of Briar Jumper Athletics.
All right. 2nd and 7. And it's a handoff to Chris Hughes, and he will go inside the 35 to the 34 is where the official's at, and that's where they're going to put this one down. And it will be 3rd and 2.
9 carries, 51 yards for Chris Hughes thus far. Cam Hughes, 14 carries, 90 yards.
Just kind of taking turns.
Just, grinding it out. We're down to 4 minutes and 6 seconds left in this half of football.
I told you that's the way to do this.
This game's going to go fast.
I like it.
Old-fashioned high school football here. Old-fashioned football, period.
Prime time's on later. They hand off to Chris Hughes up near the line of scrimmage. He will get across the 30-yard line, but there's hankies that come in late on that, and that's in the vicinity of a hold.
Yeah, and that wasn't the smoothest of exchanges between quarterback and running back. Chris had to kind of hesitate to make sure he got control of that. And
he was almost to the line of scrimmage before he got the football.
That handoff was deep into the line of scrimmage, an old belly dive play, if you will.
They mark it back to the 43-yard line, and it will bring up 3rd and a dozen.
Back at the 43-yard line. It'll be 3rd down.
4 down territory here as Caden Samala checks into the ball game.
Yes, sir. All right. Bob, is this 4 down territory?
Yes.
Bruner gets the play call. There's only 12 seconds on the play clock and it running. But the Jumpers break huddle quickly. Send a single receiver each way, 2 tight ends, and a running back. Bruner takes it, gives it to Samala, coming around a little shovel pass, gets to the 40, 35, and he will get right at the sticks. We'll see the market. He's out of bounds on the near side. Looks like the 31
We got another holding
Yep.
ball, flag laying at about the 46-yard line.
I see it.
That'll back it up 10 yards from the previous spot. I love that rule change in high school football.
Yes. About time, huh?
Yes, sir.
So they will mark it from the line of scrimmage, and it will be, as I've heard people say before, and I'm not saying this now, at the 53-yard line.
Thank you.
It will.
You had to bring that up.
It will be. First game I did play-by-play, I had a guy do me that. He wasn't from here.
Well, I did it over at South Laura one night.
But it's 3rd and 22. It happens.
Thank goodness we didn't have a lot of cell phones back then. Otherwise, it'd have been buzzing like crazy.
Anyway, from their own 47, it's 3rd and 22.
I'll touch on the rule change here on the holding call just a minute in case
good.
folks don't know.
Comes Samala in motion. They fake it to him this time, and Bruner is going to air it out. Throws into double coverage.
That's interference.
Incomplete, and the flag.
That's interference.
Well, going for Chris Hughes. He was double covered. A Danville defender kind of ran up his back before the end of it, and Hughes is saying a little bit of help here, but he's not going to get it.
And they are not in 4-down territory anymore.
Not anymore, no. So with 2:38 clock stopped, Somerset, all things being considered, will give it back to Danville. And the guy that's deep is Boffman. I'm kicking it to the near sideline as far as I can, out of bounds. Is that Cam Hughes?
It is Cam Hughes.
Thank you. 14-7, the Randall D. Turpin scoreboard. Somerset on top, late in the first half.
Wow.
Hughes hesitates, kicks it. It will hit at the 25, take a big bounce. Boffman will pick it up at the 18. Got to get outside, 25. Still running, and is hit and dropped about the 26-27. So tried to get wide again, couldn't get it done. They will mark it, I think the 26-yard line, but let's wait and see. 2:25 to go, and Danville with a chance.
Well, we got just a moment. We talked about the penalty. It was marked off from the previous spot, meaning the line of scrimmage. Prior to this year, that flag was about 5 yards deep in the backfield. They would have marked it off from there, which really would have constituted a 15-yard penalty. So now if the holding call occurs behind the line of scrimmage, you mark it off from that previous spot. I think that was a great change by the high school athletic folks.
2 receivers left, 3 right. Gutierrez Jacobs back, gets pressure, and tries to get away and can't. He is wrapped up. He falls forward for a few yards on the play, but again, Somerset, they were hanging all over him. And
that was Jacob Bartley.
Thank you.
Had a hold of a whole lot of jersey and just really couldn't get in position to drag him down. Tremendous effort there by Gutierrez Jacobs.
Picks up 5 on the play. Be second down and 5, but he gets out of that. He's going to pick up a little bit.
And we got another whistle. Oh, we had if you're not familiar with Somerset's football facility, there is a little area marked off in the end zone where the kids can play Nerf ball, football, cup ball, whatever you want to call it, and one of them got away. It's kind of like a ball getting out of the bullpen, if you will, so they called timeout. Take care of that, and pretty neat little.
I like it. That thing.
That is awesome. A lot of schools have started to do that at the high school level. 2
receivers left, 3 to the right. And straight back is Gutierrez Jacobs. Fires down the sideline, going for a receiver. Overthrows him out of bounds, down about the 45-yard line. And that was Trumbo down there, and coverage was McChrystal.
Incomplete pass stops the clock with 1:40 to go. Paul, that was the 8th passing attempt. Gutierrez Jacobs has completed 4 of those, but just for a total of 24 yards.
Yeah, they've not gotten a whole lot done offensively. They've just not. I'll be honest with you. A few penalties, a couple holding calls. Somerset has helped Danville stay in this one at this point. 2 receivers left, 3 bunched up on the right side. Gutierrez Jacobs takes it. Rolls
the
right,
screen.
looking, dumps it outside. He's got a receiver outside the 35 at the 37. Catch is made by Level, and it will be marked at the 37-yard line, and that will be the Danville first down. Only 1:34 to go, and Danville's got a long way to go.
Quarterback did a nice job that time as Somerset did a good job picking up the little swing pass out here, but Gutierrez Jacobs looking downfield and finds Level open and across the yard to gain marker. Third first down of the game.
He had, the throw he made was in a small window.
Yes.
But he did make the right throw. 3 receivers left, 2 to the short side of the field. Empty backfield again on 1st and 10 from their own 37. And he's getting pressure and gets away
somehow.
From it. Stays up, gets outside, gets to the 40, across the 40 to the 43 before he's run out of bounds by Koger and company. And it will be second down for Danville with 1:27 to go, and they stop the clock. What do you think about the new rules in college where they keep the clock running?
I like them.
I do too.
I like them. I've enjoyed it. I'm all for faster ball games.
Yeah, I didn't think I would, but it has shortened the game, and it really hadn't been that big a difference.
It's basically the same rule as what you have in professional football. Clock continues, except for the last 2 minutes of each half.
Right. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. They take it, fake it, throws the swing pass out, and he leads the receiver by half a step or so. Sellers can't pull it in. And quarterback got knocked to the turf.
Well, by Austin Lawless.
A little slow getting up, but that freshman again, and he's
just a freshman.
Yeah.
6'1", 215-pound freshman.
Now, see, the roster early in the season didn't list him at near that much. He gotten bigger. Just saying.
He is a fairly large specimen out there on the field.
Yeah, they're turning out freshmen now that were as big as seniors used to be. 3rd and 4 from their own 43.
Wow. Danville having trouble getting lined up.
Yeah.
Now they got all kinds of men in motion.
People moving and whistles. Yeah, you can't move 2 at the same time. Well, you can, but it's illegal.
Yeah. That there's what you call a gommed up miss.
Mm-hmm. Technical term. Loss of 5 on the penalty. We'll mark it back to the 38-yard line, and it's with about 20 to go in the half. 3rd and
the 2 wideouts for Danville were lined up almost a yard across the line of scrimmage. You could see them backing up. And then 2 other guys went in motion, and, they still have a timeout left, if I'm not mistaken. Might have been a good time to use it.
Yep, 2 receivers each way. Single back in the pistol. Boffman goes out of the backfield. And hit and dropped is Gutierrez Jacobs, as Bartley says, how do you do? And makes the tackle back inside the 35. They'll mark it down at the 30. It's 4th and forever. And the clock is stopped with 1:12 as the jumper says, hey, we'll take a timeout here. That is a Ron Shaw Realtor timeout with 1:12 to go in the half. 14-7 on the Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard. Somerset on top.
Be sure and stay tuned. At the conclusion of tonight's contest, we will have your Somerset Community College Offensive Player of the Game, as well as your United Cumberland Bank Defensive Player of the Game. Also, we get to name a Sassy Spoon Lineman of the Game. So we'll do all of that during our Alton Blakely post-game wrap-up show. Minute and 12 to go, 14-7 your score. That is a little bit misleading. I think if people were to look up and see that. And I guess, Paul, what would be concerning if you're Coach Clay Clevenger, and this Somerset fans is, why are we letting these guys hang around?
Well, the thing that worries you, you're up 14-7 and you have controlled the game. Danville's one play from catching you.
Indeed, they are.
The longer you let them hang around, the more confident they'll become.
Don't forget, next week, our Buffalo Wings and Rings video game of the week will take you across town as the Pulaski County Maroons host Southwestern. That will be your Buffalo Wings and Rings. game of the week.
Across town, it's over that hill right there.
Oh, well, yeah, exactly. Over the hill and through the dale. Buffalo Wings and Rings, created your way at always fresh, never frozen burgers.
Boffin in the backfield with Gutierrez Jacobs, whose name I couldn't spit out a moment ago. Of course, it takes a while. 3 receivers left, 1 right.
Quick punt.
Yep, quick punt.
Oh, that's
and he got
ugly.
nothing. It is going to hit and take a Somerset bounce and be down at the 34-yard line. That punt will cover 4 yards.
That's what I put. With 1:08 to go, Somerset now with a real opportunity.
Yes, sir. I'm interested to see what Coach Clevenger dials up right here. 1:08 to go, so time is not a tremendous issue yet. This could be a big 68 seconds.
They still have 1 timeout.
All right, good to know. Single receiver to the left, 2 to the right. Tight end on the left side as well.
1 safety back deep, so they're expecting a run.
And Bruner takes it, rolls right, fires down the sideline, got a receiver, makes the catch. Trying to
out of
get out of
bounds.
bounds, and I don't know if he did. He did not.
Yeah, he didn't, and that's
Samala on the reception. They will mark it down at the 25-yard line, and the clock will run, and it will be 2nd down and a yard.
just the second completion on 4 passes.
Same formation. They hand off to Cam Hughes, and he will break a tackle, come back in the wrong direction, be tripped up, and dropped for no gain.
Had the first down
He
and
did,
lost
and came
it.
back. That's Elmore in to make the tackle, and with 30 seconds to go, it's still 3rd and a yard. Time's going to become an issue now. As straight back is Bruner, sets, fires over the middle, got a receiver. That is Samala at the goal line. Touchdown, Somerset. I said Samala, it's Hughes. It's Chris Hughes, 17 instead of 11. Chris Hughes with the touchdown, and the Jumpers with 17 seconds to go in the half go up 2 scores. What a big play, Bob.
Yeah, it really was, and they just ran a little play action there, held the safety, and Hughes right up the seam. Great pitching catch and a strike by Bruner.
I apologize to Chris. 17 seconds to go. And the extra point is up and good, and with 17 seconds to go in the half, the Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard got Somerset on top of the Admirals, 21-7.
A big shout out and thank you to Don Franklin of Somerset's family of dealerships. They are the official photography sponsor on Lake Cumberland Sports Facebook page. You can check out those photos. Great action shots from all games that we cover here on Lake Cumberland Sports. And at Don Franklin, well, they work daily to provide their customers with the best possible experience. You can visit any one of their 5 Somerset locations or go on Facebook at Don Franklin of Somerset's family of dealerships, where they treat you like family. And I think that touchdown helps the Somerset faithful breathe just a little bit easier. Really don't think anybody would have felt real good about going into the locker room only up 1 score with the way that they have played here today. That completion, the 3rd pass caught for the Jumpers tonight. Chris Hughes has 2 of those, including that 25-yard touchdown reception.
I know the players will feel better about going into the locker room.
Yeah.
A pooch kick will hit and be taken by an up man at the 34-yard line to the 35-40. Gets to the 45-yard line and out of bounds. That was Sellers, and Danville will come out with 15 seconds to go in the half. That was an Entrust Healthcare kickoff. Ball marked at the 47-yard line. 1st and 10, Danville. Do they air it out?
I used to say yes, especially if you were 40 yards, within your own 40 moving forward. But I have a couple times in my career seen disasters. So I'm not as big of a fan of that as I once was.
I'm with you.
Danville's got way too many men on the line of scrimmage. They back a couple off.
3 receivers left. And Gutierrez takes it and throws it straight into the turf. He got a little bit of help.
Yes, he did. There's good pressure up the middle.
Is that Bartley again? And
it was.
And the freshman in there again as well, Wallace. And he got hit about the time he let it go, and it went about 2 yards straight down. 12 seconds and a half. A big touchdown here in the waning moments of the first half. Put Somerset on top 21-7. And they get a play call from the sideline and line up in the same formation. 3 bunched left with Boffman in the backfield. Gutierrez Jacobs takes it. Hands off to Boffman, and he will be hit. A lunge forward across the midfield stripe just inside the Somerset 49. And we get a stoppage in play with 2 seconds to go in the half as Danville takes a timeout, and we're going to have one heave-ho here at the end of the half, Bob.
Yeah, I'm not real sure why you run the ball straight up the middle and then call a timeout. I thought maybe they were just going to let it run out, but, hey, what do I know? I'm an announcer for a reason because I couldn't coach.
Well, you've got a guy like Boffman. You think, hey, they're waiting on a pass. We'll try to run up the middle, and if he breaks it, so be it, but Somerset did not fall for it.
And he does have that kind of speed.
Yes, he does, but
Somerset's done a good job. They have really done a good job containing him. Boffman, just 8 yards on 3 carries, comes into tonight rushing the football for a total of 592 yards on 103 carries, including 6 touchdowns. So Somerset has held him in check.
It looks like we're going to have a golf cart race here at halftime. I'm not sure what's going on. This is Toyota of Somerset High School football on Lake Cumberland Sports, presented by Ford Brothers Auctioneers.
All right, we got a nice track.
I like it.
Or we could have golf cart demo derby.
Third and 5. 2 seconds to go. Danville, 1 guy wide right, 2 on the left side. Takes it. Pitches to Boffman, who was going to throw it.
Yeah, he was.
And he's not going to. He breaks out, still running, and is finally tripped up and dropped pretty much at the line of scrimmage. In there to make the tackle, I think, was Barnes. But the first half will come to an end. Somerset on top, 21-7.
People go to where they bank their whole life. They put in that mortgage application and they get a rejection letter, but they don't get a why. They don't get that 20-minute phone call from their lender to explain the obstacles that are in their way, what those obstacles are and how they can overcome them, what they could have done differently in the process. And they don't understand that they have options. Our job is to educate you on those options. Our job is to learn you, to identify the obstacles in your path, make a plan, execute it, and get you over the finish line of homeownership.
The Kemper family at Kemper Home Furnishings in London and Somerset has been in business for 60 years and counting, selling nothing but the top-selling, best-built furniture brands in America at the absolute lowest prices. We focus on treating you like family with a sales staff that knows their stuff and a super fast and professional Kemper delivery team. Kemper has the biggest inventory in the region, so you get what you want when you want it. Any building can be a house, but Kemper makes it home.
Dr. Henderson, Dr. Wilson, and the entire staff at Henderson Chiropractic are dedicated to your family's health. If you're suffering from an injury, chronic condition, or just the strain of everyday life, we provide personalized treatments to improve overall health and wellness to all ages. Our clinic is equipped with modern chiropractic equipment and the most advanced technology to evaluate, educate, and treat our patients. Whether you have headaches, disc problems, nerve pain, degenerative conditions, or just not feeling energetic, Henderson Chiropractic can get you back on the road to good health. Henderson Chiropractic, the experience you need for the results you want. Call or stop by to schedule an appointment.
Back at halftime, Paul Wright and Bob Boone from the Briar Patch. Somerset on top of Danville 21-7, and we got there like this. Somerset's first drive of the game. They cap it at the 9:37 mark in the first quarter with a Cam Hughes 5-yard run. After a penalty, the conversion run failed, and the Jumpers led at that point 6-0. On the ensuing kickoff, Danville's Braden Boffman takes the ball 84 yards for the touchdown, and at the 9:19 mark, Caleb Wilcher kicks the extra point. Danville's on top, 7-6. It remains that way for several minutes, and at the 4:57 mark in the first quarter, Chris Hughes with a 1-yard run caps the drive. He also added the 2-point conversion, and the Jumpers go up 14-7. The only score in the second quarter came at the 17-second mark. Somerset's Chris Hughes again, this time a 25-yard pass from Josh Bruner. And Anderson Rubel tacks on the PAT. And at halftime, Somerset is on top of Danville to the tune of 21-7. Since 1979, Modern Systems has been protecting communities all across Kentucky, and they're proud to be part of the communities they serve, committing time and sponsorship to numerous charities like Project 5810, Relay for Life, March of Dimes, Heart Walk, local school programs, and many more. Modern Systems, your neighbors and your friends, and they work 24/7 to protect the things that matter most to you. From homes to businesses to schools and churches, let Modern Systems be your trusted name in security. Rick Barker and Godby Realty and Auction. Names you know, names you can trust. Real estate and auction services for farm, commercial, residential, and personal. Godby Realty and Auction has 49 years experience in the real estate and auction business, and we are ready to put that to work for you. Go online at godbyrealty.com for more information.
You want some stats?
I would love some.
All right,
You're in charge.
Somerset in the first half had 11 first downs. They rushed the ball 27 times for 157 yards total. They did throw the ball 5 times, completed 3, 1 touchdown, no interceptions for 49 yards. So the Jumpers, 32 offensive plays for 206 yards of offense. They did punt the ball 1 time for 32 yards, They were penalized 6 times for 45 yards. They did have 1 fumble, lost it, and that results in the only turnover charged to the Somerset Briar Jumpers. Looking at the other side of the ledger for the Danville Admirals, they had 3 first downs. They rushed the ball for just 16 yards, 9 attempts. Through the air, they were 5 of 10 for 26 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. So Danville had just 19 offensive plays for a total of 42 yards. They did punt the ball 1 time that netted only 4 yards. They were penalized 4 times for 20 yards. They did not fumble the football, however, the 1 interception evens the turnover count at 1 apiece. Taking a look at some of the individual numbers, leading rusher in the ball game for Somerset is the senior Cam Hughes, 15 carries, 90 yards, including a touchdown run of 5 yards. That was the first score of the ball game. Chris Hughes has 9 carries for 51 yards and a touchdown. And Josh Bruner gets credit for 3 carries and 16 yards, but a couple of big first down plunges on quarterback sneaks. We mentioned Bruner, 3 of 5 overall. 2 of those passes caught by Chris Hughes for a total of 40 yards, including a 25-yard touchdown reception, a big one as we were winding down the first half. Caden Samala has the other catch for Somerset for 9 yards total. When we look at individual numbers for Danville, Trumbo has 1 rush for 9 yards. Bropham has 9 yards on 4 carries. Sellers has 1 carry that didn't net any yards. And Gutierrez Jacobs, 4 carries for -2 yards. Quarterback Enrique Gutierrez Jacobs, as we said, 5 of 10 overall, no touchdowns, did have 1 interception. DeMontre Trumbo caught 2 balls for 14 yards. Xavier Level caught 1 pass for 7 yards, and Trendon Sellers caught a pass for a total of 5 yards. That's going to do it there for stats, as we are going to have an extended halftime now as the homecoming court is being introduced, and they are moments away from crowning your 2023 homecoming king and queen. We will have that for you just as soon as we get it. The good news is we're right next to the PA announcer, so we should get that information almost as quickly as he does. Dr. Jesse Pace and Dr. Patrick Jenkins of Lake Cumberland Orthopedic Sports Medicine for athletes of all levels, from the weekend warrior to the professional. At Lake Cumberland Orthopedics, the goal is to get each patient back to the highest level of physical activity as soon as possible. They're proud to support local athletics by serving as team physicians for Lindsey Wilson College, Southwestern, Somerset, Pulaski, and Wayne County High Schools, and other athletes throughout the Lake Cumberland region. Be sure to check out the Facebook page each week and you can check out Lake Cumberland Orthopedics on Facebook. And I lost my place. I was saying a lot of words there in a hurry, and it just turned into what some people have labeled talking about new word salad.
Of course, and I don't know if a lot of people know it, Jesse Pace did some work with James Andrews.
Uh-huh.
You know James Andrews?
The name sounds really familiar.
That's the guy that pioneered Tommy John surgery.
Okay. All right, we do have a few scores to update you on. Southwestern, okay, they are up 28-6. I believe they are at
South
Laurel tonight. That was with 11:28 to go in the second. That was the last update there. And PC has made their way over to Harlan County, and they are up 27-0 at halftime. And you just may have overheard public address announcer Madeline Zimmerman being introduced as one of the candidates for Queen. And if you recognize that name, well, her daddy was in radio for a long, long time. Old buddy Rod Bubba Zimmerman. I know his chest puffed out right now. He's awful proud of that young lady. Excellent soccer player as well.
Yeah, she's got athletic ability. She took after Mom.
You get no argument, I think, from him.
Bob, Somerset able to score inside the final 30 seconds in the first half, and that makes a big difference in the complexion of this football game as we go to the third quarter.
I agree. They're just
Allie Elise Baird, please come forward.
They are
recognized as the 2023
So Allie Elise Baird has just been named homecoming queen. As I will hold your thought there on that
no problem.
Touchdown commentary. So congratulations to her. She receives her sash and crown down on the field. Good crowd on hand tonight for homecoming. I saw all kinds of old Briar jumpers tailgating out behind Meese Middle School. So congratulations to her as being named Homecoming Queen 2023. You asked about that. I think that was huge. I think it was big for several reasons. One being Somerset, I don't want to say they looked lethargic, but they were methodical. And they were driving up and down the field, but they weren't able to convert points. They had the fumble, got stopped on one drive, and I think that was a real confidence booster. And knowing that Danville's going to get the ball coming out to start this half, it could be a whole different ball game. Kickoffs have been an adventure.
Somerset got up 14-7 at the end of the first quarter. You mentioned the fumble that they lost down about the 20-yard line or so. The big thing was the penalties and the lack of continuity in the offense. The defense, I think, has played well.
Yeah, they really have, and you're right. The penalties, 6 of them for a total of 45 yards. So there haven't been any big ones, especially 15-yard variety.
Right.
But they've had a couple that have just killed drives.
Mm-hmm. They have, and that's something, if you're going to go far into the playoffs, you can't let it happen.
as you get a look at the winning float, and this year it is the sophomore class. That was the roar you heard, and the shot you got to see of that float. And I tell you what, these floats are nothing like we did, and it's a pretty cool tradition here at Somerset. I know you had kids that went to school here.
We still have grandkids here, yeah.
And it is probably still one of the coolest traditions. This whole town gets into it. You had the parade after school, the floats arrive, and Jeremiah come in with a big salute, getting a great shot of the floats. And tell you what, it is really a neat tradition, and it's good to see a lot of folks out here at the ballpark or the football field, whatever you want to call it. The Briar Patch is what it is affectionately known as.
That's what it's known as.
And just a great day all around, good weather for it, and hopefully we won't see any sprinkles or anything till we get this one over. Jeremiah hopes so, because he's got like
he's
a
outside,
really expensive camera. Well, we don't care if he gets wet. We got to keep the camera dry.
The thing that gets me about Somerset, and it was this way here when I was in school, you have a decent crowd virtually every home game you play. Mm-hmm. 2/3 of those people are on the track.
I know. And I have to admit, every time I've come to a game as a fan, I've ended up down there.
You can see much better from the stands.
Yep.
The facilities are nice. The stands are
every
roomy.
seat's a good seat.
There's plenty of room, but yet 2/3 of the crowd has always stood down in that one corner, and it's been that way since I was in school in the 70s.
And I don't know if they've ever gotten a head count, but there has to be anywhere between 50 to 100 kids at any given time down there playing a little ball just beyond the end zone.
Well, now that I can understand.
Yeah, absolutely. And what was neat, when they built this field, Paul, it was pretty cool to hear the discussions. And there were kids on the team, I remember some of them at the time saying, that's where I started. And they'd point to that area and say, that's where I found my love for football.
Exactly.
Just throwing around a Nerf ball or, whatever it is. And, cheerleaders used to throw out those little plastic balls and stuff, and they'd be all over. And, we had to take a timeout and stop because one made its way onto the field. Well, big, fat, hairy deal. Let them kids have fun. They're enjoying themselves. This is what small-town high school football should be about right here.
And we talked about it with some folks from Danville, some friends of ours who do broadcasting up there. We're talking about it before the game. You will see press boxes in a lot of places that are an afterthought.
Yeah.
And a lot of teams now are going to the turf and they're building new fields. Now, some of them aren't. Some of them are still old school. But as far as a total facility goes, there aren't many better than this one.
No, not at all. And they accommodate us. We're one of 3 broadcast crews up here. I think they've even got some students doing some little broadcasting with the other video feed. But you've got a couple of camera crews up here. There's room for coaches. It just really is a nice facility, a pleasure to call a ball game from here, because we were talking beforehand, and we get to share a lot of memories because we've been doing this for a long time, as we talked about in the pregame. There have been some situations that haven't been, let's just call them they've been less than perfect to broadcast high school sports, and particularly football games.
There are only 2 places that I have been where I was treated horribly in the 36 years of doing this. And one of them I'll not mention, and I hope Mercer County never wins another football game. That's just me. But this press box, they've redone it and made it a lot bigger and a lot nicer. The food here is really good.
Yeah, we thank Sassy Spoons. They they cater up here for us every week, and a lot of people overlook that, but people that come up here and volunteer and run the clock and things like that, and a little press box food is always appreciated. Believe me, eating is one of my hobbies, and I'll always give a shout out to Sassy Spoon.
Ann Compton back in the old days used to feed us really well.
Ann would lug those crock pots of some of the best food up here, and it was always the homemade baked goods as well.
Yeah.
And God rest her soul, and Ann Compton, a long time Somerset Briar jumper, and she may go down as one of the all-time biggest fans for this jumper.
I would think so.
High school.
All right, we talked about the keys before the game started. Bob, if you're Somerset, if you can get a good defensive stand to start the third quarter and get the ball back in decent field position, you have a chance to blow this thing open, because unless Danville has something up their sleeve, their offense did not get a lot done in the first two quarters.
No, they really didn't, and it's just I think it's a lack of numbers. They've got some good kids. Coach Clevenger talked about that. They've got some kids that can move, that are athletic and all of that. They just don't have enough weapons.
Right.
They don't have enough experience. Young line, they don't have a lot of depth, and it's going to be hard. I think Somerset, A, will wear them out a little bit. I think, B, they've got to get out of third gear. I don't think we've seen fourth gear from Somerset yet in this game. And, they're cruising down that drag strip, and they've got a pretty nice, 2-touchdown cushion. But you'd like to see them just drop the hammer and, put that thing into fourth gear and pull away. I got to think around the football world, there are people that will just check in on the score and say, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people predicted that this would be a running clock kind of game, and it's not happened to this point.
And teams don't look ahead.
Nope.
But announcers do. If
we get paid to.
If Somerset, hangs on to this one, they need to play well coming out of this game, because they have a district game on the road in Leslie County next week, and that is a tough place to go play. And even though if it was me, I would probably favor Somerset, it's tough going over there to win.
It always is. It's always tough to cross I-75. Somerset found that out, and I was looking at RPI rankings this week. Somerset, I think, is 7th in 2A. I would like to know where they would be. It'd be interesting to know where they would be had they been able to get that win that was taken from them against Perry Central. That could come into play in the third week of the playoffs, but ifs and buts were candy and nuts, as Grandma said, we'd all have a happy Hanukkah. But you got to put that in the mindset and do what you got to do, and I think that's what Coach Clay talked about. Focus on what you got to do. Yes, it's homecoming, and yes, this is his old school across the way, and there's all these different things. But bottom line, this is a district football game, and you got to win every game from here on out to put yourself in the best position to make a playoff run.
Have I told you that the football field at Leslie County is the darkest place I have ever been?
I've been there, and I agree with you. I have been there. And
we were there during Couch's senior year in the playoffs, and about 6 minutes into the first quarter, they blew a transformer, and the whole valley went dark. And you talk about dark, you be on the far side of Hyden, Kentucky in the dark and get back to me.
Well, clock winding down here at halftime. Per high school rules, there is a 3-minute mandatory warm-up period. That means it's a 3-minute. They just put 12 on the clock.
They're ready to play.
Yeah, so that just.
Well, they took 20.
There it is. There's the 3. Okay. So we're going to step out, take a break, and then when we come back, we'll get you ready for the second half of action here on Lake Cumberland Sports.
Cash? Well, look no more. Alton Blakely's got cash. Is that cash, Daniel?
Yep.
And you're giving cash for cars?
Yep. For real? Yep.
Why not? Then on down to Alton Blakely, where selling your car is as easy as ABC. If you have a vehicle you'd like to sell or trade, it's fast and easy to get paid. And we'll give you top dollar. Visit Alton Blakely today. All the best since 1965.
Out here in the real world, we've spent too much time waiting around and wondering if we'll ever get to be what we really want to be. Now it's time to move forward, and with a little help from Somerset Community College, you can finish that degree or start a whole new life as an IT VIP, a healthcare hero, and more in less time and for less money than you think. The time is now. The place is here. Never underestimate you.
Here at Citizens National Bank, we still take pride in treating each and every customer like we would want to be treated. Our employees are here to help you navigate the confusing lending process and determine which type of home loan best suits you. Schedule an appointment today. We have highly qualified loan officers ready to serve you.
Dr. Henderson, Dr. Wilson, and the entire staff at Henderson Chiropractic are dedicated to your family's health. If you're suffering from an injury, chronic condition, or just the strain of everyday life, we provide personalized treatments to improve overall health and wellness to all ages. Our clinic is equipped with modern chiropractic equipment and the most advanced technology to evaluate, educate, and treat our patients. Whether you have headaches, disc problems, nerve pain, degenerative conditions, or just not feeling energetic, Henderson Chiropractic can get you back on the road to good health. Henderson Chiropractic, the experience you need for the results you want. Call or stop by to schedule an appointment.
Toyota.
All right, and Bob Boone back at the Briar Patch. This is Toyota of Somerset High School football on Lake Cumberland Sports, presented by Ford Brothers Auctioneers. And this is the Buffalo Wings and Rings video game of the week. You said next week. You said a couple times. Next week, across the hill, Southwestern and Pulaski County. That's always fun.
Indeed. And the Don Franklin Bowl. Of course, Don Franklin always one of our major sponsors. A big thank you to them. Don Franklin and Somerset's family of dealerships for being our official photography sponsor. And you can check those photographs out on the Lake Cumberland Sports Facebook page. At Don Franklin, they work daily to provide their customers with the best possible experience. You can visit any one of their 5 Somerset locations or go on Facebook at Don Franklin Somerset, a family of dealerships where they treat you like family.
While that game's going on over the hill,
yes,
you'll be in Haddon.
I will be. I am going to turn right on Tim Couch Pass to get to Leslie County High School. And for those of you that may not be familiar, if you've been around Kentucky football at all for the last several years, or 20 years ago, 30 years ago now,
25,
26,
27, yeah.
Tim Couch, the All-American at the University of Kentucky, he was an All-American, high school All-American at Leslie County. Football, basketball star, went on to play for my Cleveland Browns, and the only thing he didn't have there was somebody to keep him upright.
I saw him play 3 times live in high school. I saw him throw 85, 90 passes. He threw one that wasn't right where it had to be. I'm not saying he completed them all. I'm just saying he had really good touch in high school. All right. Rubel getting ready to kick it off. Oh, not Rubel.
Yep.
There is
it's either Rubel or Rubel.
Yep, there it is. True. That is the kick, and it's picked up at the 17-yard line, angling to the right side, 20, 25, out near the 30, and stopped just shy of there. For
Danville has had a really good night in kickoff returns.
Yes.
It'd be amazing what they could do if they could field one cleanly.
Yes.
That one was bobble. Yeah, Ethan Rubel handles the kickoff duties.
Right.
Anderson Rubel handles the PATs and field goal duties, and they work that out. And their special teams coach, and sometimes otherwise known as Dad's, over here to the right, running some cameras does the filming for the Somerset Briar Jumpers.
Well, he's in Kerr's family, so I'm not going to say anything bad about him, other than we're sorry.
He chose.
He did. All right, Danville, everybody in tight. And to the right of the quarterback, and they hand it off. Coming to the right side is Trumbo, trying to get to the outside, and he will be pushed out of bounds and knocked down outside the 30-yard line. Short gain on the play. We'll bring up second down and long as they brought everybody in tight, moved Boffman just a little bit, and then brought Trumbo in motion and gave it to him, trying to go to the short side of the field, and he was able to get 2, second down and 8.
Pretty good job by the jumper defense to string that out, use that sideline as an extra defender.
Mm-hmm.
Good pursuit. We talked about that in the opening, about how Somerset moves laterally very well.
Yes. 3 receivers wide left from the pistol. Gutierrez Jacobs takes it, gives it to Boffman, straight up the gut, and he will break a tackle and then be wrapped up. Able to go forward to the 35-yard line, though, before he is brought down. One of the jumpers in that was Gulak.
Yeah, Gulak, and he's had a pretty good year. And, of course, Jacob Bartley.
Right
there as well. We've called number 7's name a few times tonight.
3rd and 4 from the 35. A big third down play for Danville here early in the third quarter. And Goodyear Jacobs tries to get him to jump, maybe. Still 15 seconds on the play clock, so plenty of time. Again, 3 receivers to the left and the tight end on the right side. They hand off to Boffman, bounces it to the outside, is hit and dropped at the 37-yard line. Ball's out.
Yep, ball is out. Somerset the
says,
obligatory, we've got it, but we see a fist from the official.
Yeah, one of the offensive linemen able to get in there and get the football. That was Aiden Lanigan. They will put it right back where it started. He had a yard or so on the play. It's going to bring up 4th anyway. Now it's right back where it was at, and it's 4th and 4.
Last time the Admirals tried to punt the ball, it did not go well. A total of a 4-yard punt put Somerset in excellent field position to Jumpers were able to convert to a score.
They tried to get the quarterback on a kind of a short punt last time, and this time they've actually brought the punter back. Who's deep for Somerset? That's Hughes, I'm sure. Cam is back there. I haven't gotten the number off the punter yet. He is able to get it away. Nice kick, but Hughes comes up, takes it to the 36, or 31, 35, 40, midfield, and pushed out of bounds in the vicinity of the 45. And the Danville guy is down back at about the 36. I think Hughes put a move on him and
literally what we call an ankle breaker. And
Keegan Jones is down. They got the football on the return, 24 yards on the return to the 45-yard line in Danville territory. Did you see who the punter was? I never could get a number.
I did not.
Okay. Well, if he punts again, we'll try to find out. But Somerset did just exactly what they wanted to do. Now, Danville was able to punt it down to the 30, but a good return by Hughes will put Somerset in plus territory with 9:58 to go in here in the third quarter, up 21-7.
Paul Wiltzer's listed as the punter, and I did see a 1 on the uniform. Wiltzer wears 16, but I'm not sure. So
may have been all right.
So you continue to tend to the injured Admiral player out there. Pretty nice punt, though, as you said.
Yeah, the coverage didn't get down quick enough. Speaking of an injured player, Dr. Jesse Pace and Dr. Patrick Jenkins of Lake Cumberland Orthopedics, sports medicine for athletes of all levels, from the weekend warrior to the professional. At Lake Cumberland Orthopedics, our goal is to get each patient back to the highest level of physical activity possible. We are proud to support local athletics by serving as team physicians for Lindsey Wilson College, Southwestern, Somerset, Pulaski, and Wayne County High Schools, and other athletes throughout the Lake Cumberland region. Be sure to check our Facebook page each week for our Lake Cumberland Orthopedics Student Athlete of the Week. And Bob, I wonder if I could get Pat, to come get me off the couch maybe to get me back into physical activity. Not tomorrow. I'll be busy tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow there's a little college football to be played.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get a couple hours in tonight.
Well, yeah.
It could happen.
I spent a lot of time the last 2 days preparing for this game and one tomorrow.
You got Lindsey Wilson tomorrow, don't
Lindsey
you?
Wilson. They battle for the Highway 55 trophy as they're going to travel north to Campbellsville to take on the Tigers. So
yes, sir.
Tigers and Blue Raiders in what could be a pretty good game. Campbellsville 4-1 on the season, or I think that's right. They have just one loss. Lindsey Wilson with one loss could be potential big-time MSC matchup.
Single receiver left, 2 to the right, and Cam Hughes takes it, goes behind the right side of the line, big hole. He's at the 40, to the outside 35. At the 30, shakes loose and tries to stay in bounds and can't. He steps out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Nice run. Give him about 18 on the play, and that will be a Kemper Furniture first down.
Yeah, and with that, he goes over the century mark again tonight. He came into this contest
996.
Yep, with 996 averages. Well over 100 yards per game.
Ball at the 27-yard line. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Ball on the right hash mark for the Jumpers, leading 21-7. And they take it, hand off to Hughes again behind the left side of the line, and goes into the second level before he's hit and dropped in the vicinity of the 15-yard line. Trumbo got him, but Trumbo was the first guy that had a shot 11 yards downfield.
Yeah, and Cam not shying away from him whatsoever.
That is another Kemper Furniture first down, as you heard Jonathan Absher say.
Told us earlier if we needed help with first downs, he'd give us a sign.
Yeah. Was that the sign? Is that
Was
it?
that the sign? All right.
All right. Gotcha. The ringing. Two receivers left, one to the right. In motion is Chris Hughes. Takes a little shuffle pass, is bounced outside, gets to the 20, and is going to be hit and dropped near the line of scrimmage, as Danville did a nice job of stringing that one out. I think it was Boffman in there to finally make the stop, but he had help, and it will bring up second down and right at 10.
Bruner has completed 4 passes. 2 of them haven't been thrown for more than a yard each.
Then the shovel passes. Those count.
Yep.
Three receivers come left. Actually, one of them lines up at tight end. They take it. There's the handoff again. Dancing to the outside and then cutting it up at the tackle spot. Still driving, and is going to be hit and dropped inside the 10. Cam Hughes. Uh-oh. Flag in, and I don't see the flag. It is holding, though. I didn't see it in the backfield, but that's what they're going to call.
Well, I don't know who it was called on, but Jason Gambrell did not give up on that play. We talked early about how receivers are supposed to block downfield. Mm-hmm. Well, Jason Gambrell was the key to that pile. I know it's all going to be negated by the holding penalty, but what a tremendous effort by big number 74. 6'1", 305-pound offensive lineman, senior. And who wouldn't want to run behind that?
They mark it back at the 22, so Hughes got 3, and then you got the 10-yard penalty. And it will be second down and 17. Clock running, 8 minutes to go, third quarter. The Randall D. Turpin scoreboard says 21-7 Somerset. Same formation they've been running. Wide receiver to the right, Samala. And they fake it to Hughes, throwing toward the corner. Wide open, got a receiver, reaches up, makes the catch. Lewis, touchdown. 22 yards from Josh Bruner to Isaiah Lewis. And Somerset did just what we said they needed to do, Bob, here in the third quarter. And that's get a stop, get a touchdown. And they have put some distance now between themselves.
Well, Lewis, his second touchdown reception of the season, and that was exactly what the doctor ordered.
Anderson Rubel. Snap is down, kick is up, and it will be good. 7:45 to go, third quarter, 28-7. Somerset on top.
Intrust Healthcare Counseling Services has made it their mission to be the trusted leader in promoting mental health in Kentucky for the last 24 years. They can personalize services to meet your needs, whether that be in the office or over the phone or on your computer. Call Intrust at 606-676-0638 to get services started today from anywhere in the Commonwealth. You can always visit their Facebook page at Intrust Healthcare Counseling Services to learn more about how they can help you or your family today at Intrust. Your mental health matters, and don't forget 988 is the new suicide crisis lifeline. Call, text, or chat if you or someone you know is in a crisis situation. Don't hesitate, just make the call.
T-shirts are available at the corner of the bleachers. They're available for $15, and old programs are available near the ticket booth for $10.
All right. Somerset getting ready to kick off. There's another Rubel. There's the kick. This one is kicked high and short, taking it to 39. And then the receiver is hit and dropped after a return of -2 yards. On the return is Braylon Guest. And Danville still with good field position. Offensively, what did they get in the first half?
Total?
Tell me again. Yeah.
It was under 50 yards.
I knew it wasn't much.
And I've lost my sheet. I got papers everywhere.
Yeah,
a grand total of 42 yards on 19 plays.
Yeah, it was a trick question on my part. Sorry about that.
No worries.
So they mark it at the 37. And Danville with Enrique Gutierrez Jacobs at quarterback. He's been there all the way. Behind him is Braden Boffman, who has been in the backfield most of the night. 2 receivers each direction. Jacobs takes it, hands off to Boffman, makes a nice cut, and he's going to get a yard. Pick a jumper. And there's a flag. And it's everybody in the press box is kind of oohing and on, but it was, they 4 or 5 guys had him, and right at the end, they got a push, and it's going to cost them 15.
Get a whistle, and you didn't. That was on, I believe that's on Grayson Gulak. So going to lose what?
They're going to
pick
lose
a number.
Yeah, they're going to say that the momentum was not too bad. I'm going to see where they're going to put it down.
I think he lost about 6 yards.
Yeah, he's at the 47. So it would have started at the 38. They're going to say he gained a yard before they went 15 yards forward.
Really? Okay.
I don't see that, but that's where they mark it. So after the personal foul penalty, Danville's got it in Somerset territory at the 47, first and 10. Jumpers up 3 scores. As you said, it's been methodical, but it's been, at this point, fruitful. Gutierrez Jacobs, straight back, looks at Boffman and throws it over the middle. Just a bit high for Sellers. Incomplete. Threw it into traffic in the zone. He was open. Pass just too high, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Chris Hughes, one of the individuals there.
Somerset has done a lot of bending and not breaking. Tonight again, the only score for the Admirals is on a kickoff return. Danville, 4 receivers out. And the pistol formation. Gutierrez Jacobs takes it, fakes it, fires over the middle. He's got a receiver and out throws him by about half a step, able to get one hand on it. Is Xavier Level, but it's 3rd down and 10, and Danville's got another guy down.
They can't afford to have too many more go down.
They cannot. This is a skill guy. I'm not sure which one it is. I can't get a number, and I won't guess. As
they just have 10 reserves on the sideline, and
right.
Is that the quarterback?
It might have been. It starts with a 1. I'll be honest with you. While he's down right now, as they said in Butch Cassidy's Sundance Kid, read one news. Remember that line?
I do indeed. Are you stressed, anxious, or depressed at Intrust Healthcare Counseling Services? They can get services started today. Intrust offers you the flexibility of providing you with counseling services in their office, on the phone, or through your computer. Give them a call at 606-676-0638 or visit their website at intrusthealthcare.com. Let me do that again, intrust-healthcare.com. At Intrust, your mental health matters. And Rick Barker, God Being Realty Auction Services, names you know, names you can trust. Real estate and auction services for farm, commercial, residential, and personal. God Be Realty and Auction, 49 years experience in the real estate and auction business, ready to put all of that to work for you. Go online at godberealty.com for more information. 28-7 on your Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard. This is Toyota of Somerset's high school football presented by Ford Brothers, auctioneers, and realtors, and it is the quarterback.
It was Gutierrez Jacobs. Let's see what Danville will do now. 3rd and 10 from the Somerset 47. I would not be surprised if it wasn't
Go
Boffman.
to a Wildcat with
Boffman. That's exactly what I was thinking, yes, sir. I don't know what they will attempt to do. Now, I see. Nope, he's going out. It is going to be old number 6.
Braylon Guest.
Braylon Guest in at quarterback. 3rd and 10. They've got 5 receivers deployed. .6:59 to go in the third. Guest down to 5 on a play clock. Takes the snap at the last minute.
Trouble.
He's getting pressure, rolling to the left, buys some time, takes off on the run, gets to the 45, 44, stepped out of bounds in that vicinity, and it's going to bring up 4th and medium. They'll mark it at the 43, Bob. If they mark it with that official standing, it's a gain of 4, be 4th and 6.
Gain of 4 yards on play, 4th down.
28-7 Somerset. And as well as Somerset's defense have played, the offense has been stops and starts a lot tonight. Not on the last drive. All right. Back to the pistol formation. Guest with Bothman behind him.
Jumpers already have 1 turnover on downs to their credit.
And Guest takes it, rolls right, looking to throw, getting pressure, still rolling, fires over the middle. He's got a man wide open at the 30, and that is 25-20 to the 15, and hit and dropped. That was Sellers. I couldn't get the name out, and he has taken Danville inside the 20-yard line, and the Ads are in business here in the third. He was wide open, and Guest was running for his life, but was able to get far enough outside to buy some time. And
you said that was Sellers on the catch?
Sellers on the catch, yes, sir. Threw it across his body.
Well, I was going to say, he broke every cardinal rule that was ever invented when it comes to throwing it late across the middle, across your body.
Yeah, don't do any of that unless he's open. They hand it to Boffman, who lowers the shoulder, gets inside the 15 from where the play started at the 16. He will gain 3 to the 13, and it'll be 2nd down and 7. Yeah. Don't do that unless it works. That's one of those no, okay. 2 receivers each direction.
And that was just a breakdown in the defensive backfield. They took off after the quarterback, thinking they may get a chance to corral him, but good downfield vision.
2nd down and 7. Man in motion, snap over Guest's head. He goes back, falls on it back near the 30-yard line. Good play to fall on it. You hate to do that as an offense, but you have to. You have to get the football first. They lose 16 yards all the way back to the 29, and it's going to be 3rd down, and as Jesse Palmer would say, California. They've got to get to the 6, so it is 3rd down and 23. Single receiver left, 3 to the right. Guest takes it, and we get whistles. I hope we don't get into this whistle fest again, Bob.
No, we really don't need it. 4:55 to go in this third period of play. 28-7, and again, somebody wiggled on that offensive side of the football.
You either get a false start or the ref is trying to do his Temptations impersonation. Now it is 3rd and 28. If you want to get into fractions, it's a long way.
I don't do fractions. I do remember numerator and denominator. One of them's on top.
Guest takes it straight back to throw. Got plenty of time, lofts it way in the air. He's got a receiver down there or not down there, and Somerset tried to pick it off. Did they stay in bounds? They did. They were able to stay in bounds, and that's Cam Hughes. Picks it off down at the 5, which I'll be honest with you, if your Danville is probably better than a punch, you could have got away. But they get no points, and Somerset takes over with 4:48 to go in the third, leading 28-7 on the Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard.
So 95 yards away, 4 minutes and 48 seconds to go in this third quarter. Be a good place for a nice, long, steady drive.
Yeah, I hate to disagree with you, Bob, but it's 94 and a half.
Fractions.
Just outside the 5.
If I only knew what the numerator was.
Yeah, single receiver to the right, one to the left. Yeah, H-back, tight end. Man in motion. That's the freshman. And they hand off to Cam Hughes, and he cuts it up 10, 15, 20. He gets to the 25 and is run out of bounds, I think, shy of the 30. Yeah, they will put it in the vicinity of the 26-yard line. Called a gain of 20. A Kemper Furniture first down. And Jumpers have got out of the shadow of their own goalpost, to use a cliche.
Well, and you mentioned the freshman, and that was again where he went in motion about halfway across, came back, and he just sealed off that right side and allowed Cam to break it free for a nifty little 20-yard scamper.
Flawless is going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Single receivers each way. Hand off to Hughes. Had to wait on it. Gets across the 30, 35. He's loose. Midfield. He is at the 30 and run down from behind at about the 25-yard line in Danville territory. The man that ran him down is slow getting up. Get a nice job to run Hughes down. And they say Boffman on the tackle. I thought it was somebody else. I thought it was Elmore, but I could be wrong. But the ball is at the 25-yard line, 24-yard line.
40 yards.
Yep. Well, a couple of runs like that will help with your field position.
182 yards now on 20 carries for Cam Hughes.
Nice night. Same formation with an H-back. In motion is Lawless. Turns, goes back where he started. Low snap, whistles. And guess what?
I don't know if I've ever seen so many
false start penalties. Yeah, and I'm not sure which official's throwing. I'm really not paying attention. I think it's this guy on the near side. He's got a new flag or something. Know what I mean? As Ron White would say, and he wants to use it. First and 15. Sorry. Bruner takes it, hands off to Chris Hughes, cuts it up, and he will get into the backfield. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. 29 yards, Chris Hughes. If I'm not mistaken, that's his third of the night.
It is. 2 on the ground, 1 through the air.
And we have stretched the margin, or Somerset has stretched the margin. We have a margin stretched at 34-7.
You know, the cost of margin stretchers has gone up
It
tremendously
really has,
with inflation.
Oh, there's so many things I could say that I'm not going to.
And guess what? They got offsides, encroachment. I don't think they call that encroachment anymore. I think it's just straight offsides.
Well, I mean,
I'm not sure why they didn't let the play go and just let Somerset pick whether or not they wanted to take the point or not.
Unless they got into the middle of that line and made contact and gommed things up. That's a technical term.
I guess I do believe in high school, too, that is.
Yeah, a dead ball.
Yeah.
All right. This would be one Anderson Rubel out of the holder burner.
I don't know what I'm talking about, and I did not stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
Snaps a bit high. They get it down. Rubel with a kick. It's up. Good again. And with 3:40 to go, the Randall D. Turpin scoreboard says 35-7 Somerset here in the third quarter.
You are watching Toyota Somerset's high school football presented by Ford Brothers Auctioneers, and we appreciate those folks as well as we do all of our sponsors. Buffalo Wings and Rings, along with White's Cabinet Design Center, sponsor of our Keys to the Game. Lake Cumberland Orthopedic Sports Medicine, Don Franklin, Somerset Family of Dealerships, Sassy Spoon Catering, Intrust Healthcare and Counseling Services, Rick Barker and Godby Realty and Auction, Randall D. Turpin CPAs, Ron Shaw Realtor, Citizens National Bank, that was another Citizens National Bank touchdown, and Kemper Furniture.
Let me ask you a question, as they say on TV. After the penalty, you go for 2 there, you get up 29. A touchdown and an extra point gets you up 36 and the clock runs. I'm just saying, they gave you half the distance.
I have a thought. I'll probably just keep it to myself. How's that?
All right.
Yeah. Officials having to do a little policing as people sitting right on the edge of the. They're all pretending to be little Steve Corneliuses down there on the edge to get photographs.
Oh, I'm not going there either. No. What it go?
Sorry, Steve's a good friend and
yep.
Does a great job.
A pooch kick at the 35-yard line. Fair catch called for. That is guessed, and Danville will take over at their own 35, trailing 35-7.
And that's been their worst return of the night.
Mm-hmm.
And they still have great field position, ball at the 35.
Well, Somerset made the mistake of kicking to Boffman once.
Yeah. That is the mark of some good coaching right there. When you recognize something like that, and let's just simply let's not do that again.
If you keep doing the same thing and expect different results, it's your own fault. All right, 2 receivers, wide right, 2 to the left. From the pistol. Yes, takes it, high snap, hands off to Boffman. He is surrounded, circles directions, gets to the 35, out across the 40, still loose. Finally runs out of bounds on the far sideline at the 44. He got 9, maybe 9.5 on the play, and it'll be second down.
Well, and that time the jumpers had him bottled up, as you called it. And unfortunately, Jacob Bartley, who's had an outstanding game, just got sucked inside a little bit and able to bust it on around.
And Boffman, if we've not mentioned it before, is quick.
Somerset's held him in check tonight, 21 yards on 6 carries. Maybe they need to find a way to get him the ball more often.
Yeah, he would touch it 20 times if I were trying to set things up. 2 receivers each way. Yes, takes it straight back, rolls the shoulder, then steps up in the pocket, still behind the line of scrimmage, is hit and dropped right at the 45-yard line. And he's going to be short of the sticks. They actually marked the sticks at the 36 and 46, and
about 1 yard on the play.
He's a yard short.
Grayson Gulock and Chris Hughes coming up to make that play.
I thought the fair catch on the kickoff was at the 35.
I did too.
But what I think doesn't count. Clock running, under 3 minutes to go here in the third. 35-7.
It's funny how they never ask us our opinions up here.
I know,
got a great view.
And we have opinions. We may not have much, but we have opinions. 2 receivers each way. Give it to Boffman. He will get the first down, and then just a little more. They'll give him the 48-yard line, I think, in Danville territory. And a fresh set of sticks for the Ads.
First down of this half for Danville with 2:35 to go in the third period.
Somerset's defense plays like this, they can do some damage.
3 yards on the play. It's first and
Defense doesn't slump much.
No.
the Admiral 48-yard line.
So the ball's at the 48. First and 10. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the near side. Guest takes it, a little bit of a high snap, rolling left, looking for a place to go. Sits, fires it down the sideline, got a man open and missed him.
Yeah, he got clobbered. He was running for his dear life on the pressure for Somerset. That was Cam Hughes on a safety blitz. Jacob Bartley back there assisting. And as he released that football, he got walloped.
I don't know, and you can answer this better than I can, is Guest pulling it down too quickly, or is Somerset getting enough pressure he has to?
Somerset's coming with a lot of pressure right off of the line of scrimmage, and I think forcing him to scramble. Mm-hmm. And that's a good game plan if you've got a young quarterback in there. Guest has some athletic ability.
He does.
We see that. He's pretty squirrely back there and can,
He's a junior. He's probably the guy next year.
Uh-huh.
Guest takes it, hands off to Hughes, dances into the hole, and the hole collapses, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah.
And Somerset gets up this time saying, don't throw him with the flag. Gulock, the first guy there, he had help. As Brady Barnes in there as well. They will mark it back at the 45. They will lose 3, and it'll bring up 3rd and 13.
Loss of about 3 yards on the play. 3rd down and 13.
So,
1:35. Clock runs here in this third period of play.
The Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard says 35-7 Somerset. And Danville still waiting on a play with 10 seconds on the play clock. Guest in position. Still waiting. Takes the snap. Straight back to throw. Here comes Somerset.
Screen.
Tries to set it up. Gets the receiver at the 45, and that is all she wrote. Level was the receiver, and Somerset had people there in a hurry.
In the way of Brady Barnes. Barnes, senior linebacker, leading tackler on this team. Came into the night with 64 tackles. No gain on the play.
And it is 4th and 13.
Was that Boffman that caught the ball?
No, it was
Level.
Level.
You said it. I just didn't pay attention the first time.
I wasn't listening to me either, so under a minute to go, third quarter.
Yeah.
4th and 13, and Danville in punt formation. And you are right. That's the place kicker, is the punter. In case we missed it earlier.
Timeout. Somerset personnel issues.
All right. That is a Ron Shaw Realtor timeout with 23 seconds to go here in the third quarter. And Somerset on top, 35-7.
The name to know when you or your friends and family are buying or selling real estate, Ron Shaw with Weichert Realtors Ford Brothers. Ron has a long-standing history of community service and is a proud supporter of youth sports in the Lake Cumberland area. Ron truly cares for others, works hard for all of his clients, no matter the size or value of the property they would be selling. You can contact Ron Shaw, 606-271-0774. Email him at ronshaw45@gmail.com. That's Ron Shaw, Weichert Realtors Ford Brothers. And we're going to name a Somerset Community College Offensive Player of the Game. We will also have for you, at that same time, we will name a United Cumberland Bank Defensive Player of the Game and a Sassy Spoon Catering Lineman of the Game. All of that part of our Alton Blakely postgame show. We got them all in. They're all bonus commercials now.
Be sure to watch Buffalo Wings and Rings Video Game of the Week on Lake Cumberland Sports. Our next video broadcast is a week from tonight. Southwestern at Pulaski County. Buffalo Wings and Rings. Wings created your way and always fresh, never frozen burgers. Oh, Shay. All right. All right. Danville comes out with the offense. Huh?
I miss Shay. She left us.
I know it. Danville going for it from their own 45, trailing by a bunch. Guest with time, throws it over the middle, threw it into a crowd, and Somerset picks it off, heading down toward the other end. That is Hughes. Cam at the 40. He is at the 30, and he will take it to the house. 75 yards. Thereabouts, and Somerset stretches the margin as Guest. He throws it with a little bit of a hump in it. He throws it high, and Somerset puts 6 more on the board. 6 seconds to go here in the third.
Yeah, the official didn't help me at all. He didn't even drop a beanbag to let me know, so I'm going to put 75 yards.
That's what you got.
And, okay. Why are we going backwards?
Uh-oh. Block in the back, Somerset. So the touchdown do not count.
I never saw a flag.
But never saw a flag, never saw a beanbag.
Well, the umpire's the one who threw it because it's his flag. He's marking it off. Ball's going to be on the 49 of Somerset.
Yep, Jumpers will have the football, but 6 points doesn't go on the board.
49-yard line.
And it'll be at the 49, 1st and 10.
24 yards officially on the INT return. Second interception of the night for Cam Hughes.
Would it be rude if one guy was both the offensive and the defensive?
He's making a case.
2 receivers left, one to the right. And we got a stoppage, and they're
wrong football.
Yeah, wrong football.
I got one that might surprise you for offensive player of the game. I mean, it's hard to argue Cam Hughes, 20 carries, 182 yards. and a touchdown running the football.
Chris has got 3 TDs.
Chris has 3 TDs, but I've got another surprise for you.
Okay.
I may throw that out there just to.
Why, you're more than welcome to. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. And Bruner straight back to throw. Going to throw deep. Got a receiver down there. That's Samara. Makes the catch and scores. Samara behind the defense. And Somerset at the end of the third quarter goes on top, 41-7.
And I may change that, my thought.
Yeah, we've got a quarter to go. Ain't nothing in stone. That was a nice route and a perfectly thrown football from Bruner. $51 yards on the play.
Third touchdown pass of the night.
Somerset's put up 41 points to this point, and we fussed about the offensive inconsistency. All right, going for 2. I thought they would last time. And we get a whistle. Timeout, Danville. The Ron Shaw Realty timeout. We are at the end of the third quarter. No time on the clock. And Somerset's up 41-7.
I made a list over here. I'm just going to keep it to myself until we get to the end, and then we'll discuss it. We'll do that during the commercial break so we can.
We're going to try to elect a speaker or anything, or
don't we need to?
Yeah, at some point, you would think. That's as far as I'm going. The thing that gets me is
Wait a minute, you said that was as far as you were going.
No, not about that. The thing that gets me is they've preempted Gutfeld most of the week, and I've not been happy.
I get it. So what you're telling me, I haven't had a chance to watch. If I go back to watch the recordings, I'm not going to get.
No, not since Monday, I don't think.
Okay.
All right, single receiver each way. Lawless at the H-back. He goes in motion, turns back the other way. They hand off to Chris Hughes, and he will go in standing up. Hughes with a 2-point conversion. That's his second one of those. And Somerset's lead is 36. And once the quarter starts here in the fourth, we're not going to be here very long.
Nope.
Still going to be a 10 o'clock game or so, which doesn't really hurt my feelings. Like I said, I'd like to watch a little bit of Colorado, but they're playing Stanford. It'll be over time we get home. Not over, but over.
Last updates I have from east of I-75, Southwestern at the half up 42-14 over South Laurel. PC up 27-0 at the half over Harlan County. Our game here 43-7 with 1 quarter to play, and it will be a fast one. Anytime you get a 36-point advantage, then the clock doesn't stop except for timeouts and injuries.
Right. (43-6). Somerset on top, and once we kick it off, things will be rolling. And again, I was surprised that Coach Clevenger didn't go for it after the last touchdown. Same result. It just surprised me a little bit. Ethan Rubel, ball at the 50.
Because now what you do if you're Somerset, you just want to make sure you don't get anybody hurt.
Right.
And you get to this point, you can play some reserves because it does not revert back to normal timing rules.
Coming down is Trumbo, and he will take the kick and try to get to the outside on the far side. Gets in the vicinity of the 30-yard line. We'll see where they put it. And Danville will take over right there. Well.
Yep. Clock is running, so
yes,
we're in good shape there. As Somerset, we could get an opportunity to see a few younger guys in action. We'll try and get them on.
Yeah, if we see somebody, you'll know it. see a Reggie Smith in at the line. And I see a Caden Bean. So they shuffled a couple in.
Roby Browning has checked into the ball game.
All right. Yep. Old number 8. All right. Danville with, I don't know exactly what you call that.
Corbin Samala in at safety.
All right. And we got a whistle. Delay of game coming out of the kickoff. You hate when that happens.
Well, I get it, but okay.
Yeah, with you. All right. 1st and 15 from the 25. Guest at quarterback. 2 receivers out. And they hand off to Boffman, who does not get back to the line of scrimmage. And that Browning you talked about was in there. I think Gulak was in there as well. Loss of 2. And it will bring up 2nd down and 17.
Jax Griffith checking into the ball game.
All right.
Going to give Grayson Gulak a spell. Well done, young
man.
He's good night.
He's had a good night. He has.
Loss about 2 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Danville. They haven't started the play clock yet for whatever reason.
Well, that's okay.
But the clock's running, so.
I don't know what we're waiting on. I guess this is the officials' way of
shortening the game?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm looking to see if there's an official.
Minute of play, we won't be here long.
No. Guest takes it, hands off to Boffman again. He's hitting the backfield and dropped again. He's going to end up losing a yard or 2. And Bartley was the first guy there. Lose another 2 yards, and it's 3rd down and 19. We're under 9 minutes to go. Jumpers up 43-7. If you're just joining us, where the heck have you been? Danville with 2 receivers each way. Still waiting on a play call. The play clock is not running.
Good job.
They have turned those off for the night. And Guest takes it, rolls right, looks for a place to go. No place to go. He's going to keep it. Run out of bounds to the 30-yard line. So he's back in the vicinity of where this drive started, and it will be 4th down.
Guest on the keeper.
So going to have to, I'm assuming, from the 30, Danville will not punt.
27 yards rushing on the night for the Danville Admirals.
Braden Morrow checks into the Briar jumper lineup.
24 rushes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's a pretty good night.
That'll get you beat most of the time if you're the offense. 2 receivers each direction on 4th and 11. Guest straight back, gets a little pressure, fires it up the middle, picked off.
Oh, it's punted.
35. Oh, did he kick it at the end?
He did kick it. Yes, he did.
Not going to matter. It's going to be returned for a touchdown. About 40 yards, they returned for the touchdown and then dropped it. Trying to see who the man was with the football. That's a lineman. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Zach Koger. With a 39-yard punt return.
Zach Koger.
Wow. At about the 7:12 or 7:19 mark, I'm sorry.
That was how many yards?
I'm going to call it 39. It never got very far.
That one will go in the memory banks for a long time. That was weird.
Extra point up.
I'm not sure what that was all about.
And
who
good.
you were trying to fool.
Well, I was trying to see where the ball was going. I looked away from the quarterback about the time Guest punted it.
Well, he took it, the snap, and sprinted straight backwards. So his momentum's got him going backwards.
Right.
Then he kicks it with I don't know. That was just
The punt.
that was not good.
The punt covered 8, 9 yards maybe.
I don't like to be critical of coaches and decisions, but that one kind of is a bit of a head scratcher.
No. The last few years, and nobody's ever asked me to coach, but the last few years, I don't think I would take the job.
No.
So.
No, these guys put in, and anybody thinks that, especially high school coaches are getting wealthy. Oh, yeah, you hear the stories about some of them, but 95% of them are out here grinding. Usually they got strong families behind them because the wives become widows this time of year.
They have to. Ethan Rubel. Clock is running still. We're at the 5.5-minute mark. 50-7. Now, people will look at this score and say, well, Somerset handled them fairly easily.
Yeah, but it was
not.
It was, I don't know how to describe it.
I don't either. Like that last play. It's kind of strange.
Yeah.
All right, it is taken at the 15. Straight up the middle, 20. Angling to the right side, 25, 30. And tripped up just shy of there. And that's Browning again, I think, that was over there. Trumbo.
Austin Lawless.
Okay, was it Lawless?
Yep.
All right. Browning was over there. Return of 14 yards. And I'm looking for numbers. Hunter Brown. Well, I've not gotten the defender right most of the night, but that's I'm just a little bit out of practice.
Smidge?
Yeah, just a smidge.
Smidge or a scotch?
Yeah. Tad.
A tad. All right. And all three of those are different measurements.
Yes,
by the way.
they are. Danville with a new running back, because that's Marquise Elmore. Started at linebacker, as Boffman, I think, is not going to get any more wear and tear. 2 receivers each way. Braylon Guest takes it, hands off to Elmore, and he will not get back to the line of scrimmage.
First man there for Somerset, that was Roby Browning.
Yeah, Reggie Smith was in there as well. So they will mark it back. Yeah, he didn't lose much. Call it 2nd down and 10. I'm not going to get into fractions, or it'd be 10.5. Mentioned Samala in the secondary. Grayson Barber, did you mention him? 2 receivers each way. Still with the pistol. Guest takes it and fakes it to Elmore. Out wide, got a receiver. He's open at the 30. He's going to be run down at the 40-yard line. Nice play. And there's Somerset came up with a football, but he was down.
Complete to Sellers.
Sellers on the reception. They will gain 11 and a first down. You mentioned Jax Griffin. Did you mention Nathan Mounts, the freshman into the corner? Also in the secondary is Josh Lewis. A few snaps for guys that will be needed later. 1st and 10, only 2:35 to go on the clock running. Guest takes it, fakes it, keeps it, tries to get to the outside and does, gets to the 45 and out of bounds. So Guest came inside, bounced it back outside, was able to get to the corner and pick up a few yards.
Picked up 5, maybe?
Yes, sir.
At the conclusion of our game tonight, we'll have
Jared Murray, did we mention that name?
Somerset High School Marching Band. They're going to perform their competitive show. So you'll stick around for that. 2nd down and 5 now for the Admirals. Ball at the 45-yard line.
Trying to see if I've missed anybody, and I don't see anybody, but I'm still looking. All right. 2nd down and 5 from the 45. And Guest will fake it, throw it out wide. He's got Sellers at the 45, and he is flung down right there, no gain.
Well, Browning was there, but the tackle, give credit. Who was that?
Corbin Samala, the guy that spun him around and dropped him.
Tackled by Samala.
He just kind of flung him down.
Short gain on the play, 3rd down.
So they're going to give him a yard on the play. It's 3rd and 4. That was generous.
I thought so.
Only a minute 10 left in the football game. Danville with 3 receivers to the right, 1 left. Guest takes it straight back. Rolling right, sits, fires it long downfield. It's short, and it's going to be picked off again. Somerset's got it at the 23-yard line, and the man that came up to get it was Josh Lewis. And we've got a flag came in late on that. Danville's got at least one guy down.
That may be
legal block
on court. Yeah, called against Corbin Samala.
Yep. You like that, Brandon? Yeah. Jaden Tandy was the guy that was slow getting up. Both Danville's guys did move, and the clock continues to run. And
so 4th interception of the ball game, 3rd one.
And I don't think we're going to run anything else.
I guessed.
Clock is at 15 seconds and running. The officials are all standing together out about the 30-yard line, and both teams are on their respective sidelines, and they're going to shake hands. Clock will wind down. Somerset will go to 2-0 in the district with a 50-7 win over the Danville Admirals here for homecoming.
Yours, Somerset High School Briar Jumpers.
Toyota of Somerset, we're known for great service before and after the sale, and so much more. Since 1988, Toyota of Somerset has been supporting our local communities. And we sell and service what a number of different rating services call the most fuel-efficient, dependable, and safe vehicles on the road. Toyota. Toyota of Somerset, South Highway 27 Somerset, and online at toyotaofsomerset.com. At Toyota of Somerset, we're all about you.
Here to come in 175-100, here to come in 175-2. I 200 down, down, got it here to come in a quarter.
Like successful sports programs, putting together a successful auction takes a lot of planning, organization, attention to detail, and teamwork. And you need dedicated and committed people pulling together. At Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we've been successfully selling the country since 1965. Ford Brothers Auctioneers. Give us a call or visit us online at FordBrothersInc.com.
Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we're selling the country.
Having a private discussion over here. Sorry about that. Paul Wright and Bob Boone from the Briar Patch, where Somerset has defeated Danville in the Toyota of Somerset football game here on Lake Cumberland Sports, presented by Ford Brothers Auctioneers and Realtors. And I will do a scoring recap while Bob gets ready to do some other house cleaning for you. 9:37 to go in the first quarter. Somerset's first drive. Cam Hughes, a 5-yard run. 2-point conversion failed. 6-0 jumpers. 9:19 to go. The ensuing kickoff. Braden Boffman, an 84-yard kickoff return. Caleb Wilcher with the PAT, and Danville's up 7-6, or what would turn out to be their only lead of the night. 4:57 to go in the first. Chris Hughes, a 1-yard run. He also ran in the 2-point conversion, and Somerset goes up 14-7. 17 seconds to go before the half. Somerset's Chris Hughes, a 25-yard pass from Josh Bruner, and Anderson Rubel with a PAT. It's 21-7 at that point. 7:45 in the third quarter. Isaiah Lewis with a 22-yard pass from Rubel, from Bruner, and Rubel tacks on the PAT. It's 28-7. 3:40 to go in the third. Somerset's Chris Hughes, a 29-yard run. Anderson Rubel with the kick, 35-7 at that point. Right at the end of the third quarter, Somerset's Caden Tamala, a 51-yard pass from Bruner. And then Chris Hughes ran in the PAT to put Somerset up 36 to get us a running clock. And with 7:19 to go, Somerset at that point leading 43-7. They scored again as Zach Koger with a 39-yard punt return. Rubel with the kick made it 50-7. And that's the way this one ends. Somerset on top, 50-7 to move to 2-0 in the district, with a showdown next week in Haddon against Leslie County. Bob?
I'm almost there.
All right.
Give me just another second or two.
This is the Buffalo Wings and Rings video game of the week, and we'll have another one next week. It'll be Pulaski County and Southwestern. Two old friends will get together across the hill over here in a district battle. I think Southwestern has already claimed a district title after winning tonight, if I'm not badly mistaken. And North Laurel will probably finish second. Pulaski with a win over Harlan County, no worse than third in the district. So Southwestern should be at home, Pulaski on the road, and Somerset, I think they're going to be at home after tonight.
They will be.
And maybe for a while if they can win next week. Bob.
Yeah, indeed. Final stats, first for Somerset, 16 first downs. They were 33 at rushing attempts, 278 yards on the ground. Couple that with 142 yards on 6 of 9 passing, no interceptions, 3 touchdowns, 42 plays, 420 yards of offense. That's easy math, averaging 10 yards per snap. Jumpers were penalized 9 times for 75 yards. They did lose 1 fumble. That was their lone turnover. We look across the ledger to the Danville Admirals. They had 5 first downs. They rushed the ball, get this, 26 times for 35 yards. 8 of 20 through the air for a total of 62 yards, so 97 yards of offense total for Danville on 46 plays. That's some pretty stout defense, ladies and gentlemen. That 8 and 20 passing, there were no touchdowns. There were 4 interceptions. Danville did fumble the ball once and got it back. And I'm not counting some of the bobbles on the kicks and all of that. Those are fumbles, buffs, I don't know. You figure it out. But they did turn the ball over 4 times. That was a huge difference in this ball game. 2 of those interceptions, Cam Hughes. Let me look at some of the individuals, if you don't mind. Josh Bruner, 16 yards on 3 carries. Chris Hughes had 80 yards on 10 carries and 2 rushing touchdowns.
All right.
He also had a receiving touchdown. So, 3 touchdowns on the night for Chris Hughes. Cam Hughes had 182 yards on 20 carries and a touchdown. We mentioned Bruner through the air, completed 6 of 9 passes for a grand total of 100 and I said 42. I meant this. It should have been 122 yards. So anyway, correct me on that. Let me fix that real quick and fix that. So 399 offense for the Somerset Briar Jumpers.
Work.
That sounds a little better. But 3 touchdown passes and no interception. 3 catches for Chris Hughes, including a touchdown. Isaiah Lewis caught a touchdown, a 22-yarder, and then a big 51-yarder for Caden Samala. And all in all, it's hard to complain about much. But there is plenty of stuff that the Jumpers will have to work on.
Those penalties will come up.
They will indeed, and they'll look at those on film because those are penalties that really become head scratchers for coaches and creates gray hairs and ulcers and things like that. So, turnovers and penalties, sponsored by Malox.
Let's do, what do you say, the United Cumberland Bank Defensive Player of the Game.
Well, and he could have been our offensive player of the game. He could have been the most valuable player of the game. But I think we got to give a shout-out to Cam Hughes. 2 interceptions on the night and just made some big-time tackles, hits, and plays. And there were so many that were deserving. Bartley had a great game. We also, we can't we'd be remiss if we didn't mention the good game that Brady Barnes had. And just all around, pretty doggone good defense. Up front, the big guys got it done for the Jumpers as well. So Cam Hughes will be our United Cumberland Bank Defensive Player of the Game.
How about the Offensive Player of the Game presented by Somerset Community College?
Oh, man, again, more and more choices, and I had 3 or 4 names out here. Again, Cam Hughes is a candidate. Chris Hughes, with, 3 touchdowns on the night.
3 Citizens National Bank touchdowns.
Yes, indeed. But you know what? He doesn't catch one of those passes if somebody doesn't throw it to him. And anytime a quarterback throws for 3 touchdown passes in a game, 6 of 9 overall, the numbers aren't staggering. But I really like Josh Bruner. I thought he had good command of the pocket tonight and did a good job.